Astros are back in the ALDS.
I know a lot of people are mad, but what are they going to say now?
If you ask Oakland, they say it with the long ball.
That one is belted. That baby is gone.
AL West teams take their rivalry to the postseason.
Welcome to Los Angeles. Oh yes, it's Hollywood. And it's Dodger Stadium. The 2020 American League Division Series is presented by Utz Snacks. We welcome you to Game 1 of the Division Series, best of 5 between the Houston Astros and the Oakland A's. AL West foes on TBS. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, along with Jeff Franceour. Matt Weiner will be with us in just a bit. Let's start with the Astros. The cheating scandal, a major overhaul for them. New general manager, new manager, and in hindsight, looking back on it, the perfect hire was Dusty Baker.
Yeah, he's a guy that brings instant credibility to this organization. He's taken 4 teams to the playoffs before. Now this is his 5th team here in Houston. Feels like it's his last opportunity. Down year, though, for the Astros overall. Offensively, they have just not been able to click on all cylinders. But you know what? You look at that record, you lose your closer for the year, you take out Verlander and Cole, which combined last year, 41 wins and over 600 Ks. You do that, it's tough sledding.
As you mentioned, under 500 during the regular season, but this team has a ton of postseason experience.
Yeah, you saw the numbers of the amount of guys that have played in the games. You see that. That's your core guys from the last 4 or 5 years. And look, a guy they're really going to want, George Springer has been great. In 10 games at Dodger Stadium, 389, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs, has been great the last 3 weeks. Look for him to kind of get things going offensively.
Well, the prior 2 seasons, the Oakland A's finished second to the Houston Astros with 97 wins. Not this time. They win the West. It's a different A's team this year.
Yeah, and Bob Melvin's been there since 11, seen a lot of heartbreak in the first round of the postseason. You see that. Finally got over the hump. And actually, talking to him in our Zoom call today, Don, we could tell the excitement, the relaxation on his face. They finally got over this. But he knows if you want to beat the champs in your division, it's the Astros. They got the chance the next 5 days. Best bullpen in baseball. This is a team that's going to try to get the lead through 5 and turn it over. For them offensively, though, hasn't been a great year. At the bottom part of the order has to be able to come up with some big hits to get to that bullpen to try to win this series.
This series should have a little bit of everything. These 2 teams don't like each other very much. It's Game 1, the Houston Astros and the Oakland Athletics. It's the American League Division Series, and it's next on TBS. Doesn't get any better than this. Next from LA. Back at Dodger Stadium and ready to go here in Game 1. The Astros and the Athletics from Dodger Stadium. The Oakland A's are the home team, so they have games 1 and 2 and 5 if necessary as the home team. Here is the Astros starting 9. George Springer leading it off and in center field. Jose Altuve is at second base. Michael Brantley in left field with Alex Bregman at third base. Kyle Tucker's had a big year. He's in right. Carlos Correa, he's going to be at shortstop. Yuli Gurriel at first base with Josh Reddick as the DH. He bats out of the 8th spot. And Martin Maldonado, the catcher, in the 9th spot for the Astros. We'll be looking at Chris Bassett today. Outstanding down the stretch for the Oakland A's.
Well, the Astros are facing one of the hottest pitchers in baseball. And the reason Bob Melvin has turned the ball to him in Game 1, you see that. His last 4 starts, 3-0. Going to rely heavy on the sinker cutter. And when the team needed him most, Game 2 against the White Sox, all he did was go out there and throw 7 innings and keep them in the postseason. And rounding out the defense, catching for him will be Sean Murphy behind the dish, a guy that Bob Melvin has been very high on, young kid, and says he's only getting better. Great catch and throw guy, which this day is tough to kind of get to. So he's a guy, young kid, started the wild card game for them last year. And then rounded out Jake Lamb, taking over for Chapman, Simeon, Listella, who came from the Angels and one of the best defense first basemen in baseball. Olsen at first, and then going to the outfield, Robbie Grossman, Laureano in center. We all know the history there, and Mark Hanna in right field to finish out this defense for the A's.
We got the 6-man crew here in the postseason, round 2. And it looks like this. Trip Gibson has the plate for the first time in the postseason. He'll be calling the balls and strikes. Ed Hickok's at first base. Jerry Mills is the crew chief. He's at second today with Laz Diaz at third base. Ron Culpo worked the left field line. Adrian Johnson the right field line. So here we go. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. It's on the warm side. And I have to say, Jeff, heading into this game and watching batting practice today, you're going to see some balls fly here today.
We didn't see many balls go in the outfield that stayed in this park. So as you said, it's a day game here, which the ball flies. Then you add about, what, 91, 92 right now. We might see some balls jumping today.
Two pretty good offenses as well going head to head. And here's George Springer to get it started. It was 1 for 9 on the wild card. And of course, the Astros made very quick work of the Minnesota Twins. 2 and done. And here they are to take on their American League West foes, the Oakland A's. As Chris Bassett ready to work. Right-hander staring in. He has been electric. 5-2 overall in the year. And his first pitch of the series is in there for strike one, and we're underway. 2.29 ERA during the regular season. That was 12 starts during the regular season. It all starts with George Springer, though, when you're talking about the Houston Astros in the top of their order.
Yeah, he's a guy that, for me, he's got to get on base, got to get this team going. Look, the Astros didn't score many runs during the wild card series, relied on good pitching. They're going to have to score this series.
Down 1-2. And Bassett compiling a 0.72 ERA in 37 1/3 innings at home at the Coliseum. It was pretty impressive. 91 degrees as we get it started here in Los Angeles on the warm side. On the ground left side into the shift and through that shift into left field. A base hit for Springer starts things here in the first inning.
Yeah, Bassett got him 1-2. Got a couple sinkers by him. Tried to come in with that one. And Springer hit it to in between La Stella. Simeon playing the shift. Good start for the Astros.
So lead runner on here in the first inning and brings up Jose Altuve. It was a down year for Altuve. And again, we talked about the postseason experience that this Astros team has, that he has individually. And they're kind of hoping that that will spark him this year. But got to kind of wonder a little bit about what the struggles were for Altuve. Did you see anything?
He might have expanded the zone, I think, more than we're used to seeing. And listen to Dusty Baker talk, Don. He said, you know, look, these guys had 60 games. I think a lot of them looked up after 40 and realized we only got 20 games to get our numbers back, which in a full season, you got plenty of time. But he did have the big walk in game one against Sergio Romo up there in Minnesota to give the team the 2-1 lead.
Now Altuve will send one to third. Nicely picked by Lamb. Go to second for one. On to first. It's late. They get the lead runner at second base and Springer for the first out here of the first inning.
It looked like Lamb had trouble getting rid of this ball. And with Altuve's speed, no chance to turn two.
So one down. Altuve at first base and brings up Michael Brantley. He's one of the guys that had a very good year offensively for the Astros at 300. 5 homers, 22 runs batted in, and a couple of hits in that wild card series against the Twins. That's with one out. Now Altuve at first base. They shift on him on the right side.
He's a guy that was so good in Cleveland for so many years, and then coming here to Houston gives you 4 professional at bats every game. You talk to some of the players on the team, Don, they'll tell you, you just look to him. He's Mr. Consistent. You know he's going to have a great approach. And as you said, another great year after 3 all-star seasons before this.
Takes the strike, grabs the outside corner, according to Trip Gibson. One out, one on. They do have the shift employed, as you saw, for the A's on the right side. But they keep it tight to the infield, the double play scenario in order. And Altuve at first base. This one is lined down the right field line, a foul ball just to the right of that line. Over the head of the right field umpire, Adrian Johnson, down that right field line.
Yeah, Brantley's so quick with the inside pitch too, though, able to pull those hands in. You see him playing the shift, but he's one of the best also in baseball, taking his base hits to left field, but just missed a double there.
Now free agents to be for the Astros. George Springer, one of them at the end of the year, and this guy, Michael Brantley, also.
And they've been their 2 best offensive players all year.
Brantley leading the team in OPS at 840 this year. And here he is batting in the 3 spot for Dusty Baker. Quick check on Altuve, easily back. The lead was not terribly large. The outfield has center fielder Laureano over towards left center, with a gap out there in right center field for Brantley. Infield playing for him to pull, outfield playing for him to go the other way. Runner goes in the 1-2, and it's a line out that's going to turn into an easy 2. At first base, Altuve was off, and they double him up. Done with half an inning. The Oakland A's are coming up in game 1. The Oakland A's coming up in the bottom of the first, winners of the American League West, and they beat the White Sox to get here. Tommy La Stella is going to lead it off. He's the second baseman with Marcus Semien at shortstop. It's Jake Lamb, former Diamondback, at third base with Mark Canha in right, Matt Olson at first. Chris Davis is the DH with Robbie Grossman in left, Ramon Laureano in center field, and Sean Murphy does the catching. And you get a deal with Lance McCullers Jr., who's not pitched in the last 9 days.
Yeah, and another reason Dusty's handing him the ball. You see the last 3 starts. Usually we're accustomed to seeing Verlander or Cole start game 1 for the Astros, but this is a guy that's been very good. And left-handers in September only hit .91 against him with 17 Ks, so he's been very good.
So that's success against the A's, and starts La Stella off with that fastball for a strike. As Tommy La Stella, the top of the Oakland A's order. 3 for 11 in that wild card series against the White Sox. In Houston, a win for McCullers. Against the Oakland A's, a 6-inning effort, giving up 6 hits, 1 earned run. His last start was 9 days ago against the Rangers. 4 innings in that effort. Yeah, we thought we may see Greinke. We didn't know who we were going to see. I was a little surprised to see McCullers, but I get why. I mean, it's been a long time, and they're going to need him, especially when you're playing 5 games in 5 days. There's no off day.
And Dusty was kind of saying that to us today. These starters are going to have to give us some length. There's no piggybacking really this series. You might see it, but with 5 games, you said we got to get some length out of the starters, and McCullers been great the last 3 starts.
The Astros using the piggyback format of their starters in the first round. It just doesn't work out that way here. You need them. McCullers Jr. has 540 2/3 career innings pitched. That's more than his dad had. So he has moved past his father and started to work here with a 2-2. That's to short. And over there is Bregman, the third baseman, as part of the shift, and he throws out La Stella for the first out.
Yeah, and battery mate for McCullers Jr. today. Martin Maldonado behind the home plate, been so good. Played the most games out of any catcher this year. And going around the infield, you got, of course, as you said, Bregman at third base, Correa at short, Altuve with the Gold Glove there, and Gurriel, another great defensive first baseman. And in the outfield, Brantley, Springer, and the young Kyle Tucker, who's had a great year for Houston.
1 down in the first inning for Marcus Semien. 223 average during the regular season for the shortstop for the A's, and the fastball runs up and in. A shift on him as well, left side, with Altuve moving from second base over to the left side of the infield to join Correa. And Bregman right back at McCullers, return to center. He's got it, flips to first for out number 2. Nice pick right back at him, 2 away.
And McCullers relies heavy on that curveball, one of his best pitches that we seen him out of the pen a couple years ago, continuously throw it. And you see here, sinker, there's that big knuckle curve that he'll throw, changeup. But he does a good job of, you see, up in the zone and down, not a lot around the middle of the plate, but the A's also, these first 2 guys have hit the ball hard, as did Brantley last inning. So hitters putting some good ABs together early.
2 down here in the first inning for Jake Lamb. It's a very good story. Had some good years with the Diamondbacks, not so much the last couple of years. Injuries a part of that. Ends up being designated for assignment. Of course, Chapman goes down for the A's. They needed a third baseman. They get Jake Lamb, and he has been put in this lineup. And how about this? For game 1 of this series, he's batting third for Bob Melvin.
Yeah, you almost wanted to ask Bob, you know, Chapman's not in there right now. But it is. Jake's done a great job since coming over. You talked to a couple of guys, say, hey, look, he's got a fresh start. He knows this is his opportunity. And look, in Arizona, he was playing every 3-4 days, and he could never really get a rhythm. Short time span here, but he's done great.
New lease on life, really, for Lamb coming into this situation with Oakland. Change of venues. Arizona in 18 games was hitting at 116. 13 games at 267, but more hits, and he's got 3 home runs with an A's uniform on. Colors with a 1-2 pitch. And that'll miss away, not by a lot.
And I'm sure when Lamb came over, Bob Melvin said, look, we're not expecting you to be Chapman. He's the best defensive third baseman in all of baseball, one of the best just third basemen. Just do what you do, and he's been great for this club, been a huge pickup.
How big a deal is that for the A's to lose Chapman?
Well, not only lose him, but you've heard Bob Melvin say the worst part is through all the pandemic and the way they travel, you can't even have him here. You know, so he's your guy that you really love, you want here, and he's not able to be with the team. 10 home runs when he went down. Big loss.
Payoff pitch, and it is grounded foul outside of first. Yeah, so Oakland without Chapman on the other side. The Astros starting pitching has been really good, but you have to keep in mind they're without Garrett Cole, who's now in a Yankees uniform, and Justin Verlander just had Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, and you talk about replacing those two guys. There's no replacing those two guys. Other guys have to step up, but it's a big loss. To lose Cole's one thing, but then to lose Verlander after one start this year.
Swing and a miss, and McCullers picks up his first K. It's a 1-2-3 first. We're done with one in game one.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium in game one of the ALDS on TBS. I'm Matt Weiner. It's scoreless after one between the A's and the Astros. Of course, because of the pandemic, baseball has some unusual circumstances this October when it comes to the postseason, including this game. And perhaps no team has benefited more than the Houston Astros. Remember, under normal circumstances, a team under 500 probably wouldn't have made the playoffs, and they still largely haven't felt the scorn of fans outside of Houston resentful of the team because of the cheating scandal. Dusty Baker told me yesterday that playing games in empty ballparks probably helped some of his younger players in particular navigate a season in which they were likely to be booed just about everywhere outside of Houston. For the A's, getting over the wild card hump this year means home field advantage is non-existent. Not only do they not have their fans here, unlike their series with the White Sox in Oakland, they can't have their family in the ballpark because of LA public health policy on COVID-19. The only real perk is getting to use the Dodgers home clubhouse, which is more spacious and has some better amenities than the visitor side or their clubhouse back in Oakland. However, they can say they're part of history because this is the first game on the schedule this round. It's also the first time a truly neutral site has hosted a postseason game.
All right, Matt, thanks very much. And the first topic he had there about the Astros playing in front of no fans, that jumps out at me. I think back to spring training and what they went through there. That was pretty ugly there to begin the year in spring training. Can only imagine what it would have been like in filled ballparks and some tough venues for these guys.
Yeah, I think we would have seen it the rest of the year coming. So
big time, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so, you know, it was. You talked to a couple of Astros players. They would say the first 2 weeks in spring training were tough.
And that's not a rough group for the most part. Spring training. This one is grounded left side, and Simeon throws on the run and not in time. Beating it out nicely down the line is Bregman. He'll reach to start things here for the Astros in the second inning. It's good speed right there.
Yeah, good hustle. He was out front in a lot of curveball. You see another one here, and right when he put it in play, though, he was off and running. Bregman with good speed. And bang bang call, but looks like he just beat it.
So Bregman is going to reach to begin things here in the second inning. Second straight inning, the Astros have had the lead runner on, and it brings up Kyle Tucker. Right fielder who had a very good year. 9 home runs, 42 runs batted in, and 3 hits, 3 for 8 in the 2 games against the Minnesota Twins. I want to ask you more about the fallout of the cheating scandal. We talked about the fans aspect or the lack thereof. How about some of the low numbers offensively? Do you think the uncomfortable at bats for some of these Houston Astros hitters, wondering if there's going to be retaliation, whether they're going to get hit, getting into the box all season? I mean, has it been comfortable for these guys?
Well, definitely. I'm sure there's some times certain guys you're facing, you're a little cognizant, thinking, there's one coming at my head. How's it going to be? I also look at the numbers.
This is to left, and Grossman on the move will get back there to make the catch shy of the track. And back to first goes Bregman.
Now Tucker, what a great swing there. 27 extra base hits this year. And right now the Astros have put some good swings on Bassett today. Brantley lined into the double play, another good one there. But look, these hitters, I think Dusty talking today made a good point. It's 2 months, it's 60 games, and I think these guys are too good of players that they would have got their numbers back up. But, you know, there's a lot of guys across the league that had down years. And I think with everything going on, spring training, not knowing when to start back, you know, it's been tough. But as this guy that's coming in here, Carlos Correa, said, get us to the postseason, and we're going to show you what we can do. And he backed it up in the wild card.
One down, Bregman at first, and here is Correa for the first time. And he'll take strike one. Fastball at outside edge. 264 average during the regular season. Yeah, you're right. There were some very big names who had down seasons. And probably you think about ramping it back up again, what guys did in between the beginning of the end of spring training when camps broke to are we going to play at all? Then you go 3 months and you get summer camp. It was just also different to fire it up again.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of players throughout the league. You know, you go through 35 games and all of a sudden you look up and you're hitting $190, you're hitting 220. Oh my gosh, I only got 20 games left to try to get this up. So I thought that's why this postseason would be so interesting, because I thought there were a lot of teams that we've seen, 8 teams left now, all have a chance to win it.
Just got to get to the dance.
That's what they told Dusty. We get to the dance, you'll see what we're made of. And here's their chance.
We talked about it off the top. He is the perfect guy to be at the helm of this Astros team. He has done an extremely good job with this club.
Oh, he's been, like I said, he's brought stability. They needed someone that had, you know, the respect fact right off the bat. And I thought Jim Crane, the owner of the Astros, did a great job of bringing Dusty in.
Correa will break a bat, I think. That one has popped up foul into the Astros dugout, and that was some snappage right there.
That was a heavy sinker coming in at Correa. Trying to get him to roll over, get a double play. You can see he relies heavy on that sinker cutter four seam. And then he's going to pitch off that with the occasional, you see, changeup, curveball, slider. But a guy that wants to work in and out with sinker, cutter, and will take that four seamer up sometimes to try to get a swing and miss.
Bassett gives up the infield hit that starts the second, gets Tucker to fly out to left. Correa breaks his bat, has new lumber, and ready to work here with a count of 2-2. Center fielder Ramon Laureano over towards right center, gap out there in left center field for Correa. Double play depth in the middle right now for the Oakland A's. Fouls it off himself, and it'll stay 2-2.
Yeah, he keeps trying to pound that sinker in, and look, when you're chasing, you're swinging like that, Don, keep coming in there. Eventually, you're either going to swing and miss or possibly roll one over. See the movement on that pitch. Ow.
That's 48 innings for Bassett. He's not allowed a home run. Talking about the sinkage that he gets. It's a heavy ball down. And that time elevates and gets Correa to strike out. First K of the day for Bassett, 2 down.
And gets a big strikeout on a curveball. You speed up his bat thinking sinker in, and then you come here. Not necessarily a great location pitch, but after those sinkers you can see he was bailing a little bit and got him.
So 2 down. Bregman, who led off of that infield hit, still at first base, and that'll bring up Gurriel. First baseman for the Astros, bats out of the 7 spot. And taking that first pitch, he'll just miss in.
Another guy who struggled a little bit this year. 31 home runs last year, only 6 this year. Signed him to a 1-year extension last week, though. Tacked 1 year on.
Grounds it foul outside of third, and evens a count of 1-1. Player in the Astros starting lineup entering the 2020 postseason has at least 1 start in a playoff game. They've combined for 1,420 career postseason plate appearances. So yeah, they've been here before in October. This particular group.
Yeah, they continue to say, get us there and we'll show you what we can do, because like you said, the experience, the at-bats they've had, they know how to play in October.
Grounded softly by the mound, having to hurry up his Lamb. He's got no play, kind of a do or die play there. I'm not sure he even would have had a chance. But cannot field it cleanly with the bare hand. Gurriel reaches, and Bregman will take second base.
Well, this is a perfect example, Don, right here. The Astros had the least amount of strikeouts in baseball all year this year. This is an example. Put the ball in play. It's something they've done so good, even though it's not hard hit. Gurriel struck out only 65 times last year, 63 and 62 the previous years, which I think you know in this day and age with the high strikeouts, that's amazing. You talk about putting your bat on the ball. Another example of making a defense make a play. And now you got a chance to drive in a run with a base hit.
So 2 down, 2 on, and here's Josh Reddick. Sometimes right fielder. He is the DH in game 1. 4 home runs during the regular season for Reddick, and a liner that is a foul ball down that right field line.
That's twice now. First inning and second inning. Brantley the other inning just missed a double by about a foot. Both would have drove in at least 1 run.
Out ahead of that, and has him down 0-1. And they may want to take a look at this. No. Altuve's looking in, and Dusty's looking back.
Yeah, the first base coach. They think it hit Olson's glove, maybe.
Not going to take a look. 0-1 here to Reddick, with Bregman at second and Gurriel at first. 2 down. Here are the Astros second. A foul tip into the catcher's mitt. He's down 0-2. That's at 5-2 during the regular season. Nifty 2.29 ERA. Gets the nod in game 1 for the Oakland A's. Popped up left side. That'll send Simeon to the short lawn and left. Backpedals and hauls it in. Astros threaten but do not score. Done with an inning and a half without a score. Bottom of 2, Astros and A's are scoreless here from Los Angeles. Let's take a look at inside the numbers presented by DraftKings. Highest curveball usage rate among starting pitchers, and McCullers 4th in that category.
Yeah, he's up there, and it's not the big kind of breaking ball that Wainwright and Hill have. It's more kind of side sweeping, and that's what he does. Lefties, that's why they struggle. He throws that sinker away, and then he comes with that back foot. You saw him get lammed for it last inning. 2 strikes lefties. They better be ready for that pitch.
Struck out Lamb and enjoyed a 1-2-3 first on 14 pitches. Cannon swings away at the first pitch he sees here to start the bottom of the second inning. Curious about the usage. You have 4 fastballs, 2 cutters, 8 curveballs so far. That was in the first inning. Here he is in the second, and ahead of Canna 0-1. See Olson and Davis scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Talked about how important it is to get a lead early in this game as we move to the later stages of the afternoon in Los Angeles. Some shadows can be tricky here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely maybe a little more important for the Astros to try to get a few runs early with the bullpen for the A's. As you said, about 3:34 here Pacific time, it starts to get tough to hit.
That appears to be Bob Melvin's strength, really, is the bullpen and shortening these games.
Well, you've seen teams do in the past, the Royals for those couple years. If you have the guys in the arms, you can do it.
All behind Canna 3-1. A look at that bullpen, which was so good all year long for the Oakland A's. Also had a flair for the dramatic. They were 6-1 in extra inning games this year. Led the majors in walk-off wins with 6. Led the majors in wins when trailing after 6 innings. Part of that is because the bullpen was so good, gave the offense a chance to come from behind so many times in dramatic fashion. McCullers working very well so far, Matt Weiner, and things looking good for him to this point.
Well, and his teammates love playing behind him. They talk about how amped up he gets, whether he's pitching that day or not. And they love playing behind him in particular because he's a guy who will go to them and say thanks for making a big play behind him. Alex Bregman told me today he's an incredible competitor who loves the big moment. And remember, this is a guy who started in Game 7 of the World Series.
Strike 3 of Canna, who goes looking, much to his surprise. Strikeout number 2 for McCullers. We're down here in the 2nd inning. Well, don't miss the Yankees and Rays Game 1 next on TBS or ESPN Radio. Tomorrow, Game 2 of our series, Astros and A's at 4:30 Eastern, followed by Game 2 of the Yankees and Rays on TBS or ESPN Radio. Full schedule is available at MLB.com. One out here in the last of the 2nd inning, and here's Matt Olson.
Yeah, Matt, a big power hitter, a guy that, talking to him, wasn't thrilled with his average this year. A guy hit .267 last year. But we know the power had a rough wild card series, looking to redeem himself here this series. And he's going to walk a lot. 34 walks this season.
195 batting average, as you mentioned, under the 200 level, and able to put together 14 home runs, though.
And going back to what Matt was saying about McCullers thanking his defense, he should. It's the best defense in baseball. Best fielding percentage, only 20 errors in 60 games this year. So a team that takes care of the baseball.
Defense in the shift right now. That one will get away, but not a problem. Nobody on base. Defense very, very good for this Astros team. Taking a little stroll is McCullers. .991 fielding percentage. Best in the majors since the Orioles of 2013. .991.
And it's big with some of these young starters for them to be able to put the ball in play. Don't have the strikeout guys like you did in Verlander and Cole.
Fouled off very quickly back to the mound, but off of himself for Matt Olson. The shift right now for the Astros has Altuve. It's kind of the rover out there in short right field. Correa and Gurriel on the right side. Bregman moved way over towards second base. Fine shift here on Matt Olson. It's ball 4, and he draws a walk. First base runner to reach for the A's today.
And that's one thing about Matt. He'll swing and miss somebody. He'll take his walks, and you know, in the postseason, a walk's a rally starter.
One thing the A's will do is drive up the pitch count of the starting pitcher. Some deep counts, some patient at bats, full counts to the last 3 hitters against McCullers. So they're making him work. And Olson draws the walk with 1 away here in the 2nd. Here's Chris Davis. Fly ball headed towards right center field and deep. Back goes Tucker at the wall, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Chris Davis. And it's the Athletics who take the 2-0 lead here in the 2nd inning. Opposite field to right center, and it carries out of here. Melvin sticking with him, putting him in the starting lineup for Game 1, and it pays off.
Yeah, he only hit 135 versus righties this year. As you said, Bob Melvin, one of his favorite players, big power, and it pays off right here. Just a sinker that didn't do much, right? Middle. And you get it up in this hot air here in LA today, that ball was gone. Good swing, stayed inside it. Like, he'd been struggling, hit the home run off Dallas Keuchel in Game 2. Bob Melvin put him back in there Game 3, and now we see him here starting Game 1.
Just a couple of home runs during the regular season. But a big 2-run shot here, getting the A's off to the fast start. Walk set up the home run, and now Robbie Grossman, a fielder for the Oakland A's. 8 home runs during the regular season. Always trying to find his bearings here after the walk and the home run. Happened fast. 409 on the tail of the tape on that home run, and a painful foul ball for Robbie Grossman.
Yeah, and you want to know how hard it is to be a manager. Bob Melvin, talking about Chris Davis, had this to say: it's hard to not put him in there. It bothers me when I can't put him in there. And he said there's a human side to this whole thing. I love the man. And like you said, sometimes it's tough to know when should I put a guy and when should I not. And as you said, Davis, tough year this year, but you come to the postseason, you reward a veteran guy like that, and look, he rewards you back.
Yes, he did. 2-run shot here in the second inning. Grossman batting out of the 7th spot for the Oakland A's.
He's been a platoon guy most of his career. Finally getting an opportunity to play every day this year and putting up some good numbers.
In the air to center field. This will stay in the yard for George Springer. Makes the catch for out number 2. So a bounce back there to get Grossman for the second out of the second inning, and that'll bring up Ramon Laureano. Well, the former Astro who comes up here, and one of the guys in the middle of the tussle that they had earlier this season. In the regular season, these two teams do not like each other, and Laureano does not like many of the Astros as a group.
Yeah, I think it's well known. There's no love lost there.
No, both ways.
Yeah. And another guy that's got somewhat of a down year for them, but plays great defense, strong arm, and really one of the young leaders on this team.
That'll be a strike, maybe. It's called a strike, but appeared to be a little bit off the outside edge.
Yeah, he's trying to work the corners. Pretty darn good pitch, though. I used to always say you keep putting it there. You might not get it the first couple times, Don, but if you keep hitting that spot, eventually, usually the umpire will give you that first strike.
Laureano had to serve a 4-game suspension for his role in the brawl we were talking about against the Astros earlier this season. Actually began his career with the Astros. He's picked him up for relatively cheap from the Astros prior to the 2018 season. So many prospects. He's available in the Rule 5 draft. This is to first, and Gurriel taking himself. That'll end the second inning, but the damage has been done. Chris Davis, the A's DH, with a 2-run shot, has put the Athletics on top 2-0 after 2 in game 1. Two to nothing, the Athletics on top of the Astros. Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, and the home run by Chris Davis.
Yeah, you can see the power he's got. A guy that steps in the bucket, but so strong, can go the other way. 418. Huge hit for him, and really a confidence booster. Get these A's with the lead early.
Martin Maldonado leads it off here for the Astros in the 3rd. That's out of the 9 spot. The catcher. 215 during the regular season, had 6 home runs and had a hit in the wild card series prior to this.
And a guy that's patient at the plate, drawn 27 walks this year. Catch first guy, but really grinds out at bats. It's a big threat down there in the 9-hole.
Pretty long lineup when you look at the Astros starting 9. Guy like Reddick batting out of the 8 spot, Gurriel 7th, and Maldonado, as you mentioned, out of the 9 spot.
Yeah, and big inning for Bassett here. When your team gives you the 2-0 lead, being able to come back, get a shutout inning, get your offense back there, whereas the Astros, they feel like they need to at least put 1 on the board here and strike back.
Athletics shifting on the left side, and Maldonado will take the strike. Now Estella with the 2nd strike will move back over to the right side. He had been on the left side with Simeon and Lamb. But straight up right now, though, with a count of 2-2.
Yeah, very rarely in this day and age do you ever see a defense kind of just straight up now.
Yeah, it's strange.
And it is. They are. So you've seen a guy that can hit it to all parts of the field. Now he's got a 3-2 count.
Maldonado takes strike 3. Can't believe it. He dropped the bat and gets the bad news from Trip Gibson. Strikeout number 2 for Bassett. 1 down.
And Maldonado thought this ball was down, bottom part of the zone.
Wow.
Might have been just a tick down, but 3-2 count. Tough to take that pitch. And he threw the bat down.
So 1 down here in the 3rd inning. And the 2nd strikeout for Bassett. 2nd time through now for Bassett. Here's George Springer again. Springer singled to left field in the 1st inning. One of 3 hits put together by the Astros so far.
And I think Bassett, his ability to throw so many different pitches in the zone. This day and age, how many times we see 2 times through the lineup and you're done? A guy like him, first time through the lineup, guy's hitting 225, second time 228. And he's kind of a throwback, third time only 259. So I think Bob Melvin kind of feel like this is a guy that I can take into the 7th inning.
Bassett is really good down the stretch. You look first time, second time, third time, and pretty impressive all the way through.
Yeah, when you see these numbers, it's usually not like that anymore.
This is over the shift and into left field. A base hit for Springer. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, Springer, he got off to a slow start this year, Don, but he has gotten hot. He puts a good swing. Probably lucky this ball actually stayed in the yard.
As you said, he's getting hot at the right time here. 2 for 2 in today's game so far. Both base hits to left field, and that takes us to Jose Altuve. Grounded into the fielder's choice in the 1st. He's 0 for 1. Double play depth here for the A's with 1 out, a runner at 1st. And a swing and a miss for strike 1 on Altuve.
Pull off the ball on that pitch pretty good.
Bassett was the best starting pitcher for the A's all season. Almost unhittable down the stretch. Last 4 regular season starts, he was 3-0 with a 0.34 ERA. Gave up 1 earned run in 26 2/3 for Bob Melvin. Picked up the win in game 2 of the wild card series. Gave up 1 run in 7 innings. Finished last year in the bullpen. Began this season as the number 4 starter in the rotation.
And that game 2 for them was huge. Him giving 7 innings, because then in game 3 where the White Sox were kind of shorthanded in the bullpen, Don, the A's had the whole gauntlet of that bullpen and they used it.
Swing and a miss, and Altuve strikes out. 3rd K for Bassett. 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Well, great job. You see a guy pulling off the ball like that, he throws it even slower at 71. See the front hip fly open. Great pitch, great location.
Athletics into the shift on the right side on Brantley as Altuve comes a 3rd strikeout victim for Bassett. There's Estella in short right field as Brantley gets a 2nd look at Bassett. Quick check over at first on Springer. Held on by Olsen over there. Brantley lined into a double play to end the 1st. They had sent Altuve with 1 out. It turned into an easy double play defensively for the Athletics.
Yeah, that ball's 1 foot to the left or right. Might have had a double and an RBI. That's it. Even though it's 2-0, the Astros hit some balls hard. They lined into that. Missed 2 doubles down the right field line. We saw by not too much.
Always a good time to have a cookie.
I'm guessing there's some protein in that cookie, though. That might not just be a chocolate chip cookie. Although if it is, good for him.
Altuve striking out for the 2nd out of the inning. Career .311 hitter. Just a down year for him, but hoping to turn it around in the postseason. 2 outs and Springer at first with a good sized lead over there at first base. Brantley will take ball 2. 5 wins during the regular season for Bassett. Doing a little landscaping on the rubber area there. Started 3 games against Houston this year. 1-1 with a 2.65 ERA for Bassett. This is to center. Laureano moving in and over on a slant will make the catch. It'll wrap up the top of the 3rd inning. Astros leave a runner. The Athletics through 2.5 have a 2-0 lead in game 1. Welcome back to Los Angeles. It is 2-0 right now with the A's on top, and Dusty Baker's kind enough to join us live from the dugout. And Dusty, looking back on taking this job, all the challenges you had, has to be very rewarding to be here right now.
Well, it is, and I tell you, I mean, we've been through a lot. Players being injured, players having the COVID. We didn't even know we were going to get to this far. So I'm very thankful that we got to this point, because it didn't look like baseball was going to get here. So it's here. So we better enjoy it and try to make the most of it.
Dusty, you look at your offense today. No runs through 3, but 4 hits. You've stung some balls hard. You got to be kind of happy the way they're swinging the bat off Bassett.
Yeah, very. I mean, these guys are. I mean, Michael hit two rockets, and Altuve hit a ball hard in the 1st inning, and yeah, I'm very pleased. We just gotta find some holes and get some luck. We had a couple little infield bleeders, but hopefully we can get some with somebody on base.
Dusty, I know how weird this has got to be for you, as this one is driven to center field. Back goes Springer, and that ball is going to be gone.
That ball's flying out of here.
Sean Murphy takes it out to straightaway center field, and the A's jump on top. 3-0 in this one.
Well, that's what the A's do. I mean, they walk and hit homers, and they're in their game plan mode. So we gotta keep them in the ballpark. Don't walk them, and then score some ourselves.
As you said, Dusty, I've never seen the ball fly like this at Dodger Stadium like we're seeing it.
Yeah, me neither. I played here for 8 years, and boy, it was tough to hit it out of here, especially at night. It travels better in the daytime, but I've never seen balls go out of here by right-hand hitters to right field the way I have this year.
Dusty, thanks for doing this. We appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
A home run for Sean Murphy out of the 9 spot. You were talking about Sean Murphy off the top, and you thought he'd be a big key.
I did. Bob Melvin, a catch type guy. Look, those managers that are catchers and have done the position, it's tough to please them.
Yes.
But for him, he talked so much about him and what he's done, and that he's only getting better offensively. And he was telling us today, I thought about moving him up in the lineup because he's been hitting the ball so good, but he feels good down there in that 9 spot. He'll take his walks. And you saw that hanging change up, dead center.
Always thought from afar it would be tough to play for a manager who is a catcher. You think of guys like Joe Girardi, Mike Scioscia, playing for those type guys. And here he is for Bob Melvin.
Yeah, like you said, for him to get that, hit a change up dead center. Those are the tack-on runs that, as a pitcher for Bassett, you got to love. Keep giving me those.
Thanks to Dusty Baker for joining us live from the dugout. And
it's never easy when they get a home run on a live.
On cue, unfortunately.
But Dusty told us earlier today, so this A's team, that's what they want. They want to walk and they want to hit home runs. They're trying to do damage. And so far, they've been able to do that.
They have launched so far. Chris Davis with a 2-run shot in the 2nd. Sean Murphy with a solo shot. And this one through the shift into right field. Tommy La Stella, top spot in the order. He's aboard.
And we didn't talk about Tommy the first at bat as we come on, but what a professional hitter. He will spray the ball all over the place, takes the ball just off the outer half here. He was a huge pickup coming from the Angels for them this year. And he's really taken over that leadoff spot and kind of ran with it.
Rear utility man and Tommy La Stella coming over from the Angels. Also picked up left-handed starter Mike Minor, who's acquired from the Rangers. The 2 players they got for the trade deadline. And he's got a good-sized lead over there at first. Marcus Semien grounded back to the mound in the 1st. He's 0 for 1.
I think people forget how good of a year Marcus had last year. Finished third in the MVP voting. We talk about the A's being an unknown team. He wasn't even an all-star last year. How many times do you see a guy?
Lines this one sharply into center field. Listella will stop at second base, bring her up with it pretty quickly, and first and second with nobody out here for the A's in the third.
Even if you have a great second half, how many times do you see a guy finish third in MVP voting and not make the all-star team?
It's tough to do.
Yeah.
Brett Strom, the pitching coach, headed out there to talk to McCullers, who's given up 3 straight hits. Leadoff home run, then back-to-back singles. And some good contact here from the A's in this third inning, trying to settle him down. Maldonado is out there first, and now Strom will join the conversation with Bregman too.
Important part of the game, and I think that's why you're seeing him out there trying to calm him down, Don. It's 3-0. You know the pen that the A's have. You can't afford to get behind too much on this A's team, or it's ball game.
That's the thing. We talked about the shadows. We talked about their bullpen. There are some issues. You need to keep this thing close at the moment. You get later on in the afternoon, it's going to be much tougher.
Yeah, and a huge part here. If you're the A's and you're able to tack on a couple more, you make the Astros afternoon get a lot longer.
2 on, nobody out, a run in, and Jake Lamb coming up. Him in the 3 spot for Bob Melvin. He struck out swinging in the first inning against McCullers. 2 strikeouts for the right-hander. Fouls it off of Maldonado. The Major League Baseball would like to honor, remember, and thank the frontline heroes who continue to lift up their fellow citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. So 3-0 Athletics lead here as they bat in the bottom of the third inning, and some first responder cutouts here at Dodger Stadium. By the way, they added quite a few cutouts here in the last day or two.
It looks packed.
Absolutely. On the pavilion areas and second deck.
And you can see McCullers here with Lamb. Struck him out with that curveball, Don. Now he's come first 2 pitches to him, right back to him. He's got him swinging over the top of every single one of them.
It's pretty nasty right there.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. See if he goes back to it.
Lamb will chop it right side. Altuve to second for 1, on to first. That's 2. And the Astros needed that, as taking third base is Listella, but a double play there.
I was going to say better than a strikeout for him. Gets 2 outs. After giving up 3 hard hit balls, that's the way you want to come back. Get a double play, and now you're 1 out from getting your team back up to the plate. And I think Dusty meant it. He feels confident with his offense having a chance. They've put good at bats together today. Brantley's stung it twice. Just haven't had anything to show for it.
So 2 down. Listella's 90 feet away, and here's Mark Canha. He struck out looking in the second inning. Athletics have used the long ball. Davis with a 2-run home run. Murphy with a solo shot to right center. 1 to dead center, and there's strike 1. Maybe.
That ball was off the plate. Got a generous call first pitch.
Got pitch number 50 coming up for McCullers here through 2 2/3. Canha down 0-2. Kind of lunging after that pitch, headed down. 2 outs and runners in scoring position in 2020 at .292 average, and that includes 3 home runs.
Yeah, the A's players tell me they think he's one of the smartest hitters on their team. Kind of knows his strengths and weaknesses and has a good game plan.
Like going back to the breaking ball here on the 0-2 pitch, and that'll work. Strikes out. Canha picks up his 3rd K, but the damage has been done in the inning. The A's add on. A solo shot for Sean Murphy. Had 7 during the regular season. It's a solo home run. Puts the A's on top 3-0 after 3. 3-0 Athletics on top as we get ready for the fourth. Welcome back to the 2020 American League Division Series presented by Utz Snacks. And it is to the fourth inning, and Alex Bregman to lead it off here for the Astros. The second look at Chris Bassett. Reached on an infield hit in the second. 4 hits put together by the Astros, but they have been unable to push one across so far in this one. The shift in play here on the left side on Bregman.
Now Bassett, the first 3 innings, given up 4 hits, a couple hard, but he's done a good job through 45 pitches, 22 fastballs, 10 curves, 10 sliders, 3 changes. So he's done a good job game planning and keeping this Astros lineup kind of off balance.
Strike called. Wow. Bregman didn't like it, and you can see why. Here to be away.
Yes. It's a tough one to get called on you. Bregman last year so good, 119 walks and 41 home runs, and I think you look at it this year, he's only walked 24 times and the 6 home runs. I think it's been difficult for him to be able to, when you're kind of not staying in the zone, have that power.
This one is driven to deep left field. Back goes Grossman onto the track. He will leap and not make the catch. It's gone. A home run to left field for Bregman. Astros on the board with a long ball of their own. Bregman, who hit 6 during the regular season, it's a home run here, and the Astros are on the board in the 4th inning.
Talking about staying in the zone, he finally got a curveball hanging in the zone and didn't get it all. Got it off the end of the bat, it looked like. But so strong, and the way the ball's flying, just snuck it out of here.
11th home run in 47 career postseason games. And that one just on the roof of the wall out there in left field, a new area they have out there in front of the pavilion. This one is back where it came from, up the middle and by the dive. Simeon into center field, and Tucker's aboard. So back-to-back base hits as the Astros lineup comes alive.
See the home run got him out front a little bit, but Bregman so strong, able to get enough of it. We saw during, it just got out, but we saw during BP today the ball flying out, Don. We figured we'd see some home runs. We've seen 3 of them here at the top of the 4th.
Tucker aboard at first base. Grossman tried to time the leap and ends up on the shelf out there and out of his reach. Quick check at first has Tucker back to the bag. Carlos Correa getting his second look at Bassett. For the home run by Bregman has the Astros on the board. Home runs for Correa. Second most by a shortstop in MLB history in the postseason. Behind Derek Jeter had 20 home runs, 61 RBIs in postseason play among shortstops.
I thought we both would be interested to see how Bob Melvin and Dusty use their bullpens, who comes in after.
In the air to center field. Laureano going back. He's battling the sun at the wall. That ball is gone. And this game is tied. Correa with a 2-run shot to center field. 2 home runs in the inning for the Astros, and all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, it is 3-3. That happened very quickly for the Houston Astros.
Now, we talked to Dusty last half inning and liked the way the team was swinging the bat, said we got to find some holes. Now, one way to do that, put the ball over the fence. Gets a hanging slider, top of the zone. Both pitches. Bregman was a curveball up. That's a slider up. The way the ball's flying, and as good as these hitters are, that's going to be your result. Listen to it.
421 feet. And this game is tied 3-3.
Man, I was talking about the bullpen, saying in a best of 3, which we saw in the wild card, you saw a lot of guys warming up early. Now, 5 games, how long do they kind of give these starters
5 games, no off days.
Yeah, you're right, no off days. And now that the game's back tied, who blinks first and goes to the pen?
This has happened fast on Bassett. The home run by Bregman to begin the inning. Single, another home run, and now this one falling fast to center, but incoming to make the catch below the cap high is Laureano. .421 feet away. And a tie game on the 2-run shot by Correa.
It shows you how strong he is. Location wasn't bad. It was actually off the plate a little bit, but when you miss up like that, you don't get it back too many times.
Oh.
In the air to center field. Laureano again. Got sunglasses on. Lots of sunshine, but he's there for out number 2. He's handled the last 2. That dugout is alive now. They got down 3-0, but not to worry. They've tied it up very quickly.
Man, this is a team offensively. Although they've had a down year, we know how fast they can put runs on the board. We've seen it in years past, and here it is. 3 batters, 3 runs.
Martin Maldonado, who struck out looking, was none too pleased either. Back in the 3rd inning, getting his second look at Bassett, who has settled down after the quick start here in this top of the 4th inning for the Astros.
Yeah, he was not happy with that low strike 3 call. We talked about it. We saw him drop the bat, picked it up right away, came out and talked to the umpire between innings. Catching the next 7 innings, got to make sure you butter him back up.
That's the thing. You can't really burn bridges or end your relationship with your home plate umpire because you're going to need him.
Yeah.
Got to be friends.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He went right up to him. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
My bad.
Yep. And you could tell it. He picked up the bat right away when he did it.
Correa with a 2-run shot. Bregman the solo home run. Knotted at 3 right now. I think we knew we were going to see some offense in this series, despite the 2 very good starters in the game today for both sides.
Another pitch, maybe a little bit off the plate. Got the call. It's a big pitch. As a hitter, that's the difference between 3-1 and 2-2 now.
That one is by him as he strikes out, but a big inning for the Houston Astros. They get 2 home runs in the inning. Alex Bregman with a solo shot gets it started. Carlos Correa follows it up with a 2-run shot of his own. This game, it's tied 3-3. It's time for tonight's Limelight Stat presented by Corona Extra. Active career wins, active managers. Most career wins among active managers, and Dusty Baker over Terry Francona. And so happy for Dusty Baker, one of the game's classiest gentlemen, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and you can tell he loves managing this Astros team.
Oh, he's done a great job. I saw him at the hotel last year in San Francisco. He was helping out with the Giants. We were out there playing the Giants, and it was interesting talking to him. He said, I really want one more click at this thing. I want one more shot.
He told us earlier he was really hurt by the Nationals experience, being fired there, and what ends up happening there, they win a world championship, and he did a pretty good job there too, and I think that kind of stung for him.
Well, I think unfortunately he was there at a time.
Sky to deep right center. Springer going back at the wall, and that ball's going to carry out of here too. Matt Olson, 14 during the regular season, homers here in the 4th, and the Athletics have their lead back on top 4-3. More home runs.
Well, Matt's got power anywhere to all fields. As I said, 0 for 9 with 6 Ks in the 3-game series against the Sox. Knew he wanted to redeem himself. Walked the first time and gets a hanger. And hits it in that air, and right now, as you said, Don, that ball's just flying.
I mean, anything in the air feels like it's got a chance right now, and McCullers can't believe it. That looked like it was just going to be a regular fly ball to Springer, and even watching Springer, he was set up out there, and all of a sudden, he's looking over the wall. This one to right center field now, and over is Tucker, and that'll fall in front of him. Base hit for Davis. He's 2 for 2. These are swinging early and very aggressively, and have a home run and a single to start the bottom of the 4th inning.
And we'll see if that starts to get the Astros pen moving a little bit. But you know, before the game, Don, I told you, I said the A's last series, their 4 through 8 hitters struggled bad and really had a tough series. They needed some depth at the bottom of the lineup. Well, Olsen batting 5th, Davis, Murphy, you've gotten 3 home runs out of your bottom part of the lineup.
Another meeting of the mound here with McCullers as they prepare to deal with Robbie Grossman for the 2nd time in this game. That is the 3rd home run for the A's today. It's Davis, Sean Murphy, and more recently Matt Olson, who leads off the bottom of the 4th inning with a home run to right center field. It looks as if, for the most part, depending upon what goes on with the rest of the series in Major League Baseball, that the games in this series will be played during the day at Dodger Stadium. So this could be the beginning of what we're looking at here, at a lot of home runs during this series.
Yeah, these pitchers that are starting in the next few days might be in there going, yeah.
I mean, we watched it during batting practice, and it was one after another.
It was, which is just so unusual here at Dodger Stadium.
This one is driven to right field, down the line towards the corner. Over is Tucker, and that ball is going to one-hop the wall. Davis from first base will stop at 3rd. It's a double for Grossman, and it's 2nd and 3rd for the Athletics with nobody out. Looked like that one had a chance, but it jumps up on the hop on that short wall in the right field corner.
That was a hanging changeup. Got Grossman off the end of the bat a little bit. We're seeing an interesting trend from McCullers right now, getting beat with a lot of off speed. He's having the confidence to throw that 2-seamer fastball, but a lot of these pitches are on hanging breaking balls and hanging changeups.
2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Ramon Laureano grounded out to the first baseman. Gurriel in the 2nd inning. Take strike 1.
And there's that good sinker. See if he tries to continue to pound him in right. This AB, try to get a rollover, something soft to Bregman at 3rd where you can keep Davis there and get an easy out.
Fouls it off and jumps ahead here 0-2. Brady's first up right now for the Astros in the pen, the right-hander. Davis at 3rd, Grossman at 2nd, nobody out, run already in. Let's put the Athletics back on top 4-3. Use a punch out right here. That one's in the dirt, blocked by Maldonado. It's blocked there, that runner 90 feet away.
Yeah, threw 2 sinkers in, had a chance to try to go away, didn't want to hang it. I said I'd love to see him come back in with that 2-seamer right here and get a rollover to Bregman.
Sends it foul off to the right. Out of play. And hangs it 1-2 to Laureano. Blake Taylor has joined Paredes.
When we talk Bassett being pretty good the 3rd time through the lineup, McCullers 163 the first time, 234, then it goes to 302, and they're about to turn over that lineup for a 3rd time.
Grounds it foul outside of 3rd, battling away. 63 pitches for McCullers, but more than anything, kind of ineffective right now. 3 straight hits.
Well, and that's why I like that two-seamer you just saw. He's gotten 2 ground balls, foul on it, but you can, to me, get an easy ground ball to Bregman, keep Davis. Whereas if you go to that slider or curveball, it's a good one, but he's been kind of hanging it today. And that's the last thing you want to do to me here is to Laureano make a mistake on an off-speed pitch and give him something to hit a fly ball on.
Close pitch, a little bit low perhaps, and Maldonado framed it there for a little extra for Trip Gibson to get a good look. Evens at 2-2 to Laureano.
I'm not giving him anything soft to let him get extended on. I want to pound that two-seamer in.
Davis at third, Grossman at second. And a 2-2 coming to Laureano. And it is fouled off the home plate umpire that time. Trip Gibson getting the brunt of that. Maldonado checking on him. A little professional courtesy on what appeared to be a straight direct hit, and it was. Nothing glancing about that. Gibson appears to be okay. A little rattled perhaps. 2-2 again. And that's strike 3. Goes to the breaking ball to get Laureano. 4th strikeout for McCullers. And boy, did he need that. It's out number 1.
Yeah, got away with a backup off-speed pitch. Wasn't trying to go inside, but it ended up working out. Froze him on the inside part. You can see Maldonado set up away. The ball hits the inside part.
So 1 out, 2nd and 3rd. And here's Sean Murphy. He hit a home run in the 3rd inning. So far in the postseason, 444, and that home run his 2nd of postseason play for Murphy. Infield in here for the Astros. About halfway. That's strike 1. That time he got that low strike call. Here's the infield. Not getting that before, got it that time. The downward plane at 95. Broken bat, splintered left side. Only plays at first, and it's made by Bregman. Everybody stays where they're at. Davis at 3rd, Grossman at 2nd with now 2 down.
And great pitch. As I was saying with Laureano, same thing here. Murphy hit a changeup for a home run to dead center. Don't give him anything out over the plate. Throw that nasty two-seamer, and you can see he shattered his bat.
There's wood all over the infield.
Well, and Davis, look, he's not the runner that he used to be at third base. Don, so something's going to have to get through the infield. That one, easy out, and now you give yourself a chance to get out of this mess.
So 2 down, 2nd and 3rd, snappage. Tommy La Stella, top of the order. 1 for 2 with a base hit to right field in the 3rd inning. Colors jumps ahead. Getting through this with just the 1 run would be huge for McCullers and the Astros. The way this inning started with a solo home run by Olson, followed by the single and the double. You had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, a run already in. McCullers has grinded it out here, struck out Laureano, got Murphy to break his bat, ground out to 3rd without the runner advancing plateward, and here's an 0-1. That's strike 2. Again, back to the breaking ball to get it.
That was a missed spot trying to go in, but he got the strike on the outside corner. And La Stella, you got to throw strikes. 27 walks this year to only 12 Ks, so he's not going to chase outside the zone too much. And now if you're Lance, you got to make your biggest pitch of the game.
10 of the last 12 pitches for McCullers have been strikes. Big pitch to Tommy La Stella, and Colors wants to make sure he's on the same page here with Maldonado. Backs off, and got that runner out there at second base, and Grossman at second base for a long time now. They have changed up signs a couple of different times in this sequence. La Stella will strike out, and McCullers does a great job of getting out of any further trouble in the inning. That's 5 Ks, but a home run for Matt Olson at 14 during the regular season. He homers here to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Put the Athletics on top 4-3.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Taco Bell, by Liberty Mutual Insurance, only pay for what you need, and by the all-new Hyundai Elantra, our most advanced Elantra yet.
It's the fifth, and the Oakland A's have got a 4-3 lead. Chris Bassett has his lead back again. Enjoyed a 3-0 lead going into the fourth, but the Astros scored 3 times to tie it up. Oakland comes back with yet another home run, and it is now 4-3 A's. George Springer leading it off, and is quickly in the hole here, 0-2.
As you said, Bassett's he's back out there with the lead at 4-3, but they have to feel great about second and third and no outs and getting out of there without any more damage.
What a battler Lance McCullers was in that inning, and ends up getting the strikeout, ground out, strikeout.
Springer with a perfect day, 2 singles. One through the hole by Short, and the other one a line drive to Grossman in left field. Oh!
Down and in, and it's 2-2. Springer, Altuve, and Brantley teed up in the pen right now. First action we have seen for the Athletics on the day. Here with the first batter and Springer of the fifth, and that's ball 3. Altuve will be next with Houston batting here in the top of the fifth. It's the second 3-ball count for Bassett in this game. And he's not walked anybody. Flared foul off to the right, out of play. Springer is 2 for 2. He is single to left on both occasions, in the first and then the third. So this is his third look on the day at the Athletics starter Chris Bassett.
And that's why you saw the 2 previous pitches. Bassett really trying to pound that 2-seamer in on his hands. Both the other pitches he was able to get extension on.
To right center field, that ball is falling fast, and it's going to get in for a base hit over his cannon to cut it off. But Springer is 3 for 3 and has a leadoff single to begin the 5th inning for the Astros.
They're trying to go in. Not a horrible pitch, but Springer was able to get enough on it.
Let's take a look at inside the numbers presented by DraftKings. That's fastball usage rate, and Bassett third in that category. Lance Lynn and Dustin May. Calls the stadium home, Dustin May. We are playing in today this neutral site of Dodger Stadium. That'll get away, and did not appear to be a foul ball. I guess it was. Springer was taken off for second base, was not sure, but it was a foul tip off the bat of Jose Altuve.
Yeah, hit the bottom of the bat coming through that 2-seamer. And a guy they really need to get going. The Astros, Jose Altuve. Springer's getting on. Brantley's hitting the ball hard. Got to get him to get some action, get some guys up for the middle part of the order with Brantley and Bregman.
So far 0 for 2 in this one. He has got it into a fielder's choice and struck out swinging. Lines this one into right field for a base hit. Springer will head to second base, and the first two Astros have reached here in the 5th inning. Back-to-back hits, and there you go. Altuve getting it going.
And that might be it for Bassett. Ball off the plate. We saw Altuve open up the other time, swing through it. This time stayed through it and drove it to right field. Exactly what you want to do with that pitch.
So the first two Astros reach on back-to-back base hits. We've got a pitching change from Dodger Stadium in LA. It's 4-3 Athletics. This one so far.
Yeah, Davis gets a fastball for the home run. Rest of the pitches all off speed. Change up for Murphy. Bregman catches a curveball out front and just gets it over. Correa gets a hanging slider and absolutely hammers it. And then the big guy, Matt Olson, takes a curveball and skies it out of here. 4 off-speed pitches for the home run. Balls are hanging up.
That was the TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Into the pen for the first time are the Oakland Athletics. Yasmero Petit into this game.
A guy that they have relied on heavy the last 2 seasons. Last year led the AL with 80 appearances with a 2.71. This year he's even done better than that. A guy that doesn't throw hard. He's looking to get ground balls, double plays. He only throws 88 with his fastball, but he's going to be fastball, cutter, and the occasional change.
Takes over for Bassett, who ends up throwing 73 pitches in 4+ innings and is responsible for the 2 men on in Springer and Altuve here in the 5th.
Well, we saw the numbers coming into this game. You see Bassett. It didn't throw a horrible game, but on him and Lance McCullers Jr. on the other side, both those guys had been throwing great. The ball's flying today. They ran into a tough day to pitch.
2 on, nobody out, and Michael Brantley coming up here for the Astros. And no luck against Bassett. Was 0 for 2, lined into a double play in the first, lined out to center in the third. Petit during the regular season, a 1.66 earned run average. In a tough spot here coming in with 2 on, nobody out.
Well, he's done this numerous times throughout his career, coming in big situations. As I said, after you see a guy throwing hard, he comes in, he's just going to spot and try to locate and get the A's out of this inning with the least amount of damage possible.
Now pitched in 4 of the past 5 postseason games for the Oakland A's over the last 2 years. That's on the ground over by the Astros side of things, first baseway. You're at Dodger Stadium in LA.
He's one of those throwback pitchers, Don, that you get so frustrated as a hitter because all you see now is high velocity, huge spin rate. And he's a guy that just comes out of the bullpen, not going to overpower you, but knows how to pitch, knows how to get outs. And that's why Bob Melvin bought him in this game right now. Perfect situation for him.
That is strike 3. Brantley knew it, takes with him the first strikeout for Petit. 1 down here in the 5th inning.
This perfectly located fastball on the outer part. It says not going to overpower you. 88-89. It catches Brantley looking.
So with 1 out, Alex Bregman about to step in, and with more, here is Matt Weiner.
Don, Alex Bregman homered his last time up with the ball carrying here. It didn't look like he got all of it. In fact, it looked like he was out ahead, and that's a mechanical issue he's been dealing with for much of the season. You talked about some of the Astros not having the production they might normally have, and the short season being a big part of that. His hip has been flying open for much of the year. In fact, mechanically, he says he's only felt right 1 or 2 games all summer.
Per StatCast, that would not have been a home run at the Coliseum, where the Oakland A's would be playing this game under normal circumstances. As Bregman bats here with 2 on, and he will lift this to shallow center. Mariano coming in and under. Takes care of out number 2. And Petit doing a very good job since coming into this game.
Yeah, and Bregman to go on that. Look, he got off to a pretty decent start this year. as you see there, not awful, not MVP, but at the same time, after that hamstring injury, has really struggled to kind of regain the form, but had a huge hit to get the Astros on the board here, and another guy that's put up massive numbers and loves the big stage.
Well, the Astros having to deal with Oakland's bullpen. They led the majors with a 2.72 bullpen ERA this year. And 2 down for Petit, and here is Kyle Tucker. Tucker has flied to left and singled to center.
He's had 2 great at bats today. That ball to left was trying to split the gap early on for an out. And then after the Bregman home run, led off with a single up the middle to continue the rally.
That's a strike. Astros are out hitting the Athletics right now, 9-7. Put together 9 hits in this game.
Well, as a hitter, you can see that's the respect they have for all his different pitches, the cutter, the change, how he looks. When you see a guy take 90-mile-per-hour fastball right down the pipe, you know he's thinking other things too.
To center field, Laureano has got room. He'll put it away. And gone are the Astros after a promising beginning. They cannot score. A's have a 4-3 lead from LA. This has been fun so far. The Oakland A's coming up with 3 home runs to start the day. The Astros answer with a couple of home runs of their own to tie it up. A's have added another run and enjoy a 4-3 lead. This is just game 1, and we're into the bottom of the 5th inning. Game 1 of the American League Division Series, and it's Marcus Semien who leads it off right now for the Oakland A's against Lance McCullers, the Astros starter, who begins this inning but may not finish it.
Yeah, I think we saw last inning Bassett was able to go out there, didn't finish it. Same thing here. He's on a batter-by-batter basis.
Semien 1 for 2 in this game and the recipient of strike 1. They shift to the Astros. Altuve now moving over to the right side. Just as I said it, he's headed back over to the right side. He was on the left side. Dugout got his attention. This one sliced foul off to the right, and it's 1-2. Semien, Lamb, and Canna 2, 3, and 4 featured here for the Athletics in the bottom of the 5th inning. We've got a 1-run lead to come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. On the ground slowly to Bregman. Barehanded his throw. Didn't get enough on it. It gets by the first baseman, Gurriel. And to second base goes Semien. The throw will be late. And he'll stand at second to begin things here in the 5th. Bregman with a bad throw from third base on the barehanded bid.
Yeah, Bregman with a great play to start. Tough barehand with the ball rolling. Look, you can see he had a knuckle grip. Slow that back down in a minute. We'll be able to see he could never get a grip on the ball. Watch this. Watch his 2 fingers.
It's like a splitter.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a split grip. And he threw a splitter over to first.
Gurriel unable to handle it.
And a great job by Marcus rounding quick and getting the second. Had to go right away.
That'll do it for McCullers. We've got a pitching change with the Athletics on top 4-3.
Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
It's a 4-3 lead for the Athletics in game 1 of the ALDS. Pitching change as into this game for the Astros is Blake Taylor after 4+ from Lance McCullers.
Yeah, and Blake coming in. Pen for the Astros not as deep as the A's, but he's been great. They got him from the Mets for Jake Marisnick. You can see a little bit of a high walk guy, but with that being said, comes at you with fastball from mid-90s, and his wipeout pitch is that back foot slider.
We got a pinch hitter in Chad Pinder. The Oakland A's absolutely love this guy, and off the bench he comes to pinch hit for Jake Lamb with a runner at second, nobody out here in the fifth.
Yeah, you said it. Bob Melvin is one of his favorite guys. Started him game 1 and 2, came off the bench and got the biggest hit for the A's to break a 4-4 tie, give them the 6-4 lead, and that's why he's in here now.
Turned on the final day of the regular season after he missed 2 weeks with a right hamstring strain. And takes strike one. Played in both games of the wild card series, as you said. Starting one game at DH and another at third base. So McCullers gone after 4+. He's responsible for Semien, who's at second base right now for the Athletics.
A guy with him coming into pinch hit, look for him to look for something out over the plate. Huge power to all parts of the field. He's had tough. Missed the last 2 weeks, though, like you said, coming back to the last game, so maybe his timing hasn't been there.
Bob Melvin called him one of the true leaders inside that clubhouse.
Yeah, he said, look, he's been here a long time. He knows how things work here in Oakland, how we do it, and he said, you know, he's one of the guys that a lot of those guys look up to. Might not have the huge numbers, but he's a huge part of this ball club.
Swing and a miss this time, and it evens the count at 2-2.
And that's Taylor's pitch. He does throw mid-90s with that fastball, but if you get cheating at all in that fastball, he'll throw that back foot slider to right-handed hitters, which is tough. It's a wipeout pitch.
Broken bat grounder softly hit. Correa charges in. His throw will be in time. And taking third is Semien at third base as Pinder grounds out to short. So one down, runner at third. 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play next season. Text Little League to 313131 and T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. One out and Semien at third base for Mark Canha, who did not enjoy his early experiences against Lance McCullers in this game. Struck out twice. One's looking, one swinging.
Yeah, and here the infield you see coming in. So he's looking for something up in the zone to put in the outfield.
Take strike one. Fastball at 94. Astros trying to keep this a 1-run deficit. As we mentioned, they're at the lip of the grass all the way around in the infield. There's regular depth in the outfield on Canha. Lifts it to short right. Tucker now backing up a step or two will make the catch. Tagging at third is Semien. There'll be no throw. And the Athletics add on to their lead. On top now 5-3. Sac fly to right field for Canha. And the A's on top by 2.
Now, in this day and age, we love to see the long ball. We love the big power. But this, you talk about manufacturing a run. He gets the guy at second. Pinder not necessarily hit it hard. Hit it to shortstop. A good base run by Semien to get over. And then he gets a pitch out over the zone and hits a lazy fly ball and gets an easy run. Huge tack on run.
So the A's on top now 5-3. Bases empty. Into the shift go the Astros, and here's Matt Olson, who has been on twice in this game. He walked and scored in the second. Homered to lead off the 4th inning. He'll take strike one. With the slider that time to get it.
Yeah, Matt, one of the best defensive first basemen in all of baseball. The last 2 years won the Gold Glove. Actually went to my high school. Graduated about 7-8 years. My mom taught him in 7th grade math.
No way.
How about that?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I read somewhere where he looked up to you. Now I get it. This one has popped up into shallow left. Brantley running on a slant. Out is Bregman, and it'll be the left fielder Brantley. Much easier play for him. He puts it away. But the A's had a run, take a 5-3 lead to the 6th inning.
people are mad. I know a lot of people don't want to see us here. So what are they going to say now?
Astros into their second postseason series. They trail in this one right now 5-3 as Carlos Correa, who homered in the fourth, tied the game at the time and erased a 3-run deficit that the Astros were dealing with. It's now 5-3 Oakland, and the A's have moved on to J.B. Wendelken.
Another part of this pen that's so good. Fastball in the mid-90s with a big sinker. Big slider. Wild card series through 3 2/3, only 1 hit, 3 Ks, no runs.
Correa swings at the 0-1 and fouls that off to make it 0-2. Chad Pinder, who pinch hit for Jake Lamb, takes over for him at third base.
And this is the part of the game that I think Bob Melvin, talking to us today, feels good about. We got the lead. We're in the 6th inning, and you'll see almost all these guys that come out of the bullpen, when we show you their ERAs, it's either a 1 or 2.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Led the majors with a 2.72 bullpen ERA. And Wendelken at 1.80. That's away. How about the job by Petit, who came in with runners at first and second, nobody out. Struck out Brantley, got Bregman to fly out and Tucker to fly out. I mean, it happened fast.
Well, and you go back at the end of this game, if the A's hold on, to me, that could be a huge turning point. When you talk about the middle of that lineup.
Correa strikes out.
Yeah, that's a nasty curveball. After throwing that hard sinker in, you speed him up, and then you swipe him right here. Look at the break, the bite, finishes down in the zone. No chance.
Talking about this Oakland bullpen, it has been so impressive. First Major League Baseball, the 2.72. Opponent only hitting at 208. Home runs, the second fewest. Blown saves, only 4. And so far, this bullpen has retired all 4 Astros they've faced since they've been used in this game.
Yeah, and it does 2 things. We talked about the comebacks the A's are able to have when they get the lead. Bam, they can lock a game down like this, but also when you're down by a couple runs, they keep you in the game to let your offense go to work.
Gurriel lifts this to center field. Laureano with the sunglasses on, lots of sunshine, but not a problem as he takes care of out number 2. Authentic caps, jerseys, tees, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBshop.com. 2 down in the 6th, and Josh Reddick coming up here. Reddick has put the ball in the air twice, nothing to show for it. He has popped to short, flat out to center. 5 in a row retired by A's pitching. By the mound, slowly hit. It's Semien, the shortstop. Bobble with the throw. Picked out of the dirt, will not be in time. Reddick will reach with 2 down. Semien coming to the right side of the infield from the left side to try to make that play.
Yeah, I don't know if the ball just bounced off his glove. Didn't seem to be too tough. Yeah, it just kind of hit off the heel of that glove, and
A's are not going to challenge.
yeah, he beat it. But you see Reddick running right out of the box.
And charge Semien with an error.
And you know, if anything, what this does, yeah, you give Maldonado a chance to, you know, get on for Springer. But worst case, Don, if he does get out here, you flip that line over to have your leadoff hitter leading off, which Springer's got 3 hits today.
Maldonado, all of a sudden, a tying run here at the plate for the Astros. It's 6 home runs during the regular season. And he lines this one into left field for a base hit. Reddick will touch second and stay there, kind of rounds it, backpedaling now. And Maldonado with a base hit sets the table for George Springer.
Yeah, Maldonado with 2 strikeouts today. He's taken a lot of pitches. He didn't waste any time. Got a slider first pitch right down the middle. And turned on it. Now you bring it up Springer with first and second. As I've said, 3 for 3 today.
A visit to the mound here with 2 outs and 2 on. Talking it over with Wendelken, who got 2 quick outs in Correa and Gurriel. But the error in the infield and then the ringing single to left for Maldonado. Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, wraps up the conversation. And they got a deal with Springer. As you mentioned, 3 for 3. 2 base hits to left for Springer and a single to right center. 10 hits altogether for the Astros in this one. He's got 3 of them. Big spot for George Springer. It's ball 1.
Yeah, both teams today have had plenty of opportunities to score. Most of the damage coming with the long ball. 5 home runs. We haven't seen any balls driven in the gap or singles to drive a guy in. Good opportunity here.
We're looking at the 2017 World Series MVP. Now in his 5th postseason. You talk about experience in the postseason. Springer's got that, along with a lot of his other teammates on this squad.
Coming into this game, hitting close to 400 at Dodger Stadium. Now with these 3 hits, well over 400 in his career here. Likes playing here.
That'll miss. Falling behind Wendelken in this one, 3-0.
But I think what this is telling you, easy right here, because you've seen him pound the strike zone when he comes in. There's not a base open, but there is. With third base open, I think they have no problem turning this over to Altuve, who we've seen got a hit last time, but has struggled majority of the year.
Not the intentional walk, but a pitch around here, perhaps. That's a strike, and he gets it in there at 95. Well placed over the inside edge. The good hitters count for a good hitter in George Springer. Strike 2. Was it a slider that time?
That was a healthy hack George Springer just took. And now the runners will get a head start, 3-2.
He's picking up a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's now a 2-run advantage, but you get the runners, as you mentioned, off here in Reddick and Maldonado. The payoff pitch to George Springer. He'll hit this one down the line to third, into the left field corner. Route from second base comes Reddick. Maldonado will stop at third. It's an RBI double for Springer, his 4th hit. And the Astros are back within a run. It's now 5-4. Have a day, George Springer.
Yeah, the last 2 years, Don, one of the best off-speed hitters in all of baseball. He gets an off-speed pitch here. You can see gets out front, but so strong he's able to knock it down the left field line. And really kind of a break here for the A's. If that ball doesn't hit the edge and come back and can go all the way along the wall, Maldonado probably scores.
It hugs that corner.
Yeah, he scores from there.
Hockey style down there in the left field corner. So here is Altuve standing in with runners at second and third. Strike 1 to Altuve. First career postseason 4-hit game for George Springer. 3 singles and now an RBI double. As the Astros back within a run. They've done all of this in this inning with 2 outs. And against the very good bullpen of the Oakland A's. Scott Altuve straightened him up.
Yeah, see if Altuve last at bat, I felt like totally different than his first 2. We saw him flying open, Don, kind of trying to pull the ball. Last at bat, took a pitch on the outer part and drove it to right field. There's a lot of hits over there, and for him it would get him back on those pitches.
That's away. second and third with 2 down. A run in for the Astros and a 2-1 coming to Altuve. That's to left field, and it's in for a base hit. Maldonado will score. Trying to score is Springer. He will. And the Astros take the lead. Up to second on the throw goes Altuve, who drives in a pair. And the Astros take a 6-5 lead. All of this coming with 2 outs in the inning for Houston.
Big hit, gets a hanging off speed pitch, almost the same one we saw Springer hit. And that ball just hangs. Top part of the zone, and for Altuve, that's almost a layup. Lines it to left, and throw by Grossman a little bit up the line allows Altuve to get to second. Take the lead.
How about the top 2 in the Astros order? And Springer and Altuve, they're combined 6 for 8 in this game. We've got a pitching change with the Astros in the lead change. On top now, 6-5. By Snacks. A good one here in game 1 of the ALDS. It is 6-5. Houston has taken the lead here in the 6th inning with 2 down. All of this is coming with 2 outs in the inning. And Jake Diekman checks into the game now for the Athletics.
Yeah, coming in to face Brantley, get the lefty-lefty matchup, although he is tough on righties too. You see that ERA this year. 60% fastballs, 40% sliders. You kind of know what he's coming with you, but he's been one of their best relievers.
Really good against Houston. Faced him 5 times, went 5 innings, and allowed just a 0.71 on an average and no runs. Here is Michael Brantley, who is 0 for 3 in the ball game. He's lined into a double play, lined out to center, and struck out looking. It comes in here in the lefty-lefty matchup and will miss with ball 1.
I thought that's something that would be interesting. As you can see, Springer there with that big speed, never had a chance to throw him out on that. But Houston had all this experience. Here's Oakland with the bullpen, but not a lot of experience. And I think Houston was kind of relying on the fact these guys haven't been in this situation before. Let's see how they handle it.
Brantley will foul it off to the left out of play.
I told you between breaks, I'm amazed at the amount of pitches the A's, are leaving off-speed pitches up in the zone. They all have good fastballs, good sink on it, but they're getting beat with pitches that just aren't doing much.
Surprising, I guess, would be the way to say.
Well, when they got that good of fastballs, big sink. You go back to Petit when he came in. Think about it. What did he strike Brantley out? 90 mile per hour painted on the outside corner, not an off-speed pitch.
On the ground right side and by the dive of Estella. Altuve will be waved around. He will score. And a 7-5 lead now for the Astros. All of this coming with 2 outs, and Michael Brantley drives in the most recent Astros run.
Yeah, lefties, righties, it doesn't matter for Michael Brantley. Gets a fastball a little bit up and lines it in the outfield. And this is all with two outs.
Here comes Alex Bregman, who homered in the 4th inning. And an interesting note on him. There are the home runs for him. But on this date, October the 5th, he's got 4 of them.
Wow.
Last 4 years in a row.
That's incredible.
He likes October the 5th.
Big fan of it.
Alex Bregman Day for the Houston Astros.
But we always talk about, Don, how big 2-out RBIs are. And all this with 2 outs.
All of it. Correa struck out. Gurriel flied out to center. And the error opened the door.
It all started with the error.
Yeah. High heat, he chases. Semien on a play that he had to come from the left side of the infield and short to the right side. Could not field it cleanly. Reaching was Reddick, the number 8 hitter. Then he got the base hit by Maldonado. Set the table for Springer, who gets his 4th hit of the game, a double. To drive in 1 run. They get another or 2 on the Altuve base hit. 7-5 now Astros with Brantley at first and Bregman with a count of 1-2.
And still a lot of time left for the A's offense. The way they're swinging the bat today, back into the bullpen for the Astros, I think is something we're interested to see how Dusty maneuvers at.
I think he's interested in that too, to be honest with
you might be right. He's probably thinking hard now, but the way this game's going, you kind of feel like 7 runs still might not be enough for the Astros.
Not today. Not the way the ball's carrying here, and this one is up. And out of the crouch that time was Murphy to reel that in. Diekman is the 4th arm used by Bob Melvin in this one. This game 1 of the American League Division Series. But straight up in the infield with Laureano over towards right center. Bregman to go the other way. He does not. Lines out to short, and Semien will end the inning. It was Semien who got the inning started for the Astros. The Astros coming up with a big inning, a 4-run inning. Now lead it 7-5.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Utz Snacks, irresistible homestyle flavors. By Progressive Insurance, saving you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. And by Jersey Mike's Subs, be a sub above.
It is 7-5. The Astros have the lead game 1 of the ALDS, and it enters the bottom of the 6th inning, and enter Enoli Paredes into this game now for the Astros. Comes a 3rd arm used by Dusty Baker in a check swing. Davis kind of changing his mind in the middle. He went around.
Yeah, high fastball velocity. You see right there, 95 to 97 with a good slider. And one of the homegrown relievers for the Astros. Signed out of the DR in 2014.
Takes over for Blake Taylor, who's become the pitcher of record right now for the Astros. How about that tardy swing on the 97? For Chris Davis, who leads it off here in the 6th inning.
And that's going to be the challenge for these Astros relievers now. The A's haven't had the big inning, but they've scored in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Elevates and he chases at 97 and strikes out. Good start for Paredes. 1 down here in the 6th. Davis had been 2 for 2 on a home run and a single, but he strikes out to open up the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, you can see that's just power on power. Davis, big, strong guy, and Paredes just blows 3 heaters by him.
1 down for Robbie Grossman. His 3rd plate appearance of this one. He's flied out to center and double to right. Not had a base hit yet in the postseason. Wild card round or game 1 of the ALDS. He's 0 for 7.
Guy you know who would love to have a big series. Came up with the Astros for 3 years. Had a kind of a rough start there. Went to Minnesota, platoon. Started to get a little bit better, put some numbers up. Now he's come over to Oakland, done a nice job for him.
That's here with 1 out. He's fly to center, double to right. One of the 8 hits in this game for the Athletics. The Astros have banged out 13 hits through the first 6. That's elevated. He doesn't chase that fastball at 97. Springer, the center fielder, into left center. Lots of green grass out in right center. Good sized gap there for Grossman. Shadows starting to creep their way towards home plate. And we talked about that early in this game, that it was going to be a factor late in this game. And here they come. They're on the move.
Yeah, I was told about 3:30, and that's pretty darn close to it.
It will eclipse home plate first. You got a light tower that is covering a little bit of third. But it's happening. Foul tip held on to for strike 3, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Paredes. 2 down.
Not necessarily the sharpest to break, but with that fastball up in the zone that he's been doing, pitched off that to get the swing and miss.
2 down in the 6th inning. Ramon Laureano coming up here now for the Athletics. He's been talking about that last pitch, what to expect. Oriano has grounded out to first and struck out looking. Five in a row retired by Astros pitching. That was 98, the hardest he's thrown since coming into this game.
Yeah, he's raring back, feels good. All the stuff about the A's bullpen, we figured the Astros had to have a few arms step up, Don, and so far Taylor, now Paredes have been sharp.
On the ground to short, Correa fields and throws for out number 3. A nice inning for Paredes. We're through 6. The TBS Total Motion is presented by Progressive, and the Astros went into the top of the 6th inning trailing. Altuve drives in 2. Maldonado and Springer come in, and then Michael Brantley follows up with a base hit that'll score Altuve, and the Astros take a 7-5 lead. That's where we're at here as we head into the 7th inning, and the Astros are up again. It's Kyle Tucker who's going to lead it off. He was the only member of the starting 9 not to have a plate appearance in the 6th inning, so here he is in the 7th, and Jake Diekman, who got the final out of the 6th inning for the Athletics, starts things here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, the first 3 innings today, the Astros could not break through, had some runners, and now the last 3 innings, 3 runs in the 4th, as you just showed, 4 runs in the 6th. So A's need a shutdown inning from Jake Diekman to get their offense back out there with a chance.
That's a strike on the outside corner, 94, well placed by Diekman.
You're not going to do much with that pitch.
So it's a 1-1 to Tucker, and it's ball 2. Bassett started this game 4+. He gives up 3. Miro Petit came in a real tough spot, retired all 3 that he faced with runners at first and second, nobody out. JB Wendelken runs into some trouble, giving up 4. So with 2/3 of an inning before Diekman finished off the 6th. So leaving the count at 2-2.
We mentioned the A's 7-3 against the Astros this year, but 7 out of those 10 games decided by 2 runs or less. So they've played some great games this year. Tough games.
And a couple of those losses for the Oakland A's were 7-inning games in those doubleheaders that they played this year, and didn't give the Oakland A's a chance to come from behind, because that's what they do so well. Well, we've never done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB has you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Dusty Baker's Astros have a 7-5 lead. Popped up, shallow left. Grossman coming in. Out is Simeon. It'll be Grossman. Round number 1 of the 7th inning. A big day for Bregman. He's homered again on October the 5th in the postseason. Joe Musgrove tweeting this: October 5th homers in for A. Bragg. Nicely done.
Yeah, they are in. 4 in a row.
They are in. It's on. Diekman's done. We got a pitching change from LA. Astros on top 7-5. Next on TBS or ESPN Radio tomorrow, game 2 of our series, Astros and A's at 4:30 Eastern, followed by game 2 of the Yankees and Rays on TBS or ESPN Radio. Full schedule is available at MLB.com. We got 1 out in the 7th inning in the midst of this top of the 7th, and Lou Trevino into the game for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, he's been a lot better this year. Had a rough year last year with a 5.25 ERA. He was a setup man as a rookie in 2018. 10 base on balls, 26 Ks. Another guy, mid-90s fastball with a really good cutter.
So 1 down here in the 7th inning, and Carlos Correa coming up. Hit a 2-run home run back in the 4th inning, which at the time tied the score 3-3. Astros coming from behind once again, and right now enjoy the 7-5 lead with one out here in the 7th. Trevino becomes the 5th arm used by the Oakland A's. After Chris Bassett, their starter, went just 4+. That was a bit of a surprise, I would say.
Yeah, him and McCullers both have thrown great the last 3-4 starts of the season, but look, the ball, I would have loved to have seen some of these home runs at a nighttime or another park.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from any of these guys, but you know, that ball was flying. It was a tough day to pitch for the starters. It felt like anything they left up was gone.
Anything in the air felt like it had a chance.
You're right.
And just the expression of McCullers on the Correa home run, I mean, just his expression was like, what? That's gone? There've been a few of those today for the pitchers. And here's a fly ball to center field. See if this stays in the yard. Laureano going back at the wall. That's gone as Correa's gone deep again. Homered in the 4th. He hits a solo shot in the 7th. And it's 8-5. Astros on top. 3rd home run of the day for the Astros. 2nd for Correa.
So he gets a pitch trying to go inner half. Not a horrible pitch, gets in there 96, but Correa does a great job of keeping his hands through the ball. And another ball, just get it up in the air and let it go. 2nd home run.
Yeah, that's another one I did not think was going to go, to be honest with you. And if you watch the outfielder, Laureano, where he starts and where he ends up, I mean, he ends up trying to climb the wall on that, on a ball where he kind of starts slowly going back like, oh, I got this. Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it just keeps going right now.
Got to be a bad feeling. Uriel, look out. He gets hit with that pitch. Breaking ball, curveball out of the hand of Trevino. Didn't break much, and he hits Gurriel.
And we go to talk about the difference, Don, with these two teams this year. A's won 7 games, the Astros 3. During those 10 games, the pin for the A's a .63, the pin for the Astros 3.99. It's flip-flop today, and that's why the score's where it's at. Just a backup curveball to 76.
So 1 out, 1 on, and here's Josh Reddick. It's a fly ball foul off to the left out of play, and there's 96 from Trevino. Correa has added on to this lead for the Astros, on top now 8-5. Reddick so far with an .091 average during the postseason. Going to get it going. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Reached on an error, and it was a big play in the 6th inning. Kind of opened the gates there. A 4-run inning. This time he lines one to left, and Grossman moves over to make the catch below the cap high for out number 2 of the 7th. Back to first goes Gurriel. We at Turner Sports are proud to announce the debut of Base Cam. These never before seen angles will provide compelling live shots and replays, all from the bases at ground level. Base Cam is brought to you by T-Mobile.
What a cool shot.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's 2 down. Gurriel at first, and a swing and a miss. Maldonado, top hand coming off. There they are. Little cameras right there in the base.
Wow. You check everybody's cleats out and see who's got the best.
Oh, yeah. More of that, please. How cool will be some plays on possible pickoffs at first base be over?
Yeah.
It's up and away. Maldonado has struck out twice, single, and scored a run. Trevino is pitcher number 5, used by Bob Melvin in this game 1. In which the Astros have added a run here in the top of the 7th inning so far. Gurriel at first, and they'll check on him.
Yeah, still a lot of ball game left. As you said, the A's still got 9 outs left, but Astros got to be happy about the fact they've gotten quite a bit of the pin for Oakland. As you said, with 5 games in a row, that third game could be real interesting.
Popped up, foul ground. That'll get back and out of play. Murphy gives it a look, but it's in the seats. Yeah, that's the thing. Generally, in this series, you would have 2 off days, depending upon if it goes 5 games or not, for travel. Oakland would have been 2 at home and then 2 in Houston, and then if the game 5 necessary, be back in Oakland, and you'd have 2 days off mixed in. That's gone. All 5 games here at a neutral site at Dodger Stadium in LA. It changes your rotation thought process. You got to be a little deeper, certainly, than you were in round 1 in the 3-game series.
Well, and that's why both managers told us kind of today we're not committing to a game 3 starter.
Right.
I would think the Astros have a better idea. Probably Zach Greinke game 3. He's not necessarily a guy you love bringing out of the pen. But for the A's, I did believe Bob Melvin. The fact I'm not sure yet. I got to see what happens with the other guys.
Maldonado will strike out. That'll put an end to the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch. Astros add a run. They've got an 8-5 lead and a second home run in this game 1 for Carlos Correa. Astros on top by 3. It's time for the Geico game summary. Home runs, a story in this game. Both teams with 3. The Astros with an 8-5 lead. Both starters not hanging around. Both go 4+ as it turns out into the pens relatively early. Carlos Correa has had a 2 home run game for the Astros. There's Sean Murphy to lead it off and swing and a miss for strike 1 against Paredes. And you were saying you would be surprised if Paredes didn't come back out there again after his performance in the 6th. And here he is in the 7th.
Yeah, and I mean, look, he's blowing fastballs 95 to 98, and you can tell guys aren't ready for it.
A pair of strikeouts. Davis and Grossman in the 6th inning. Got Laureano to ground out quietly to short, and had a 1-2-3 6th inning. Sean Murphy, who homered in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd in the 4th, gets his 3rd AB of this one.
And the Astros don't have the depth of the pen that the A's do, so when you get a guy like this, let him ride it.
That's McCullers 4+, giving up the 5 runs that the Astros had. Blake Taylor, 1 inning, didn't allow a hit, retired all 3 that he faced. Dusty Baker goes to Paredes, and so far so good in that area. In the air to right field has Tucker moving back and over for out number 1 at the bottom of the 7th inning. Be there for every pitch this season with the Bleacher Report app. Join a community of fans, connect with friends, and follow scores from around the league. Download the BR app today. 1 out in the 7th, 4 in a row retired by Paredes, and top of the order for the Athletics, Tommy La Stella. A base hit to right in the 3rd, a 1-for-3 game for the Athletics second baseman. Some clouds and haziness have come into Dodger Stadium, and the shadows that we're about to experience around home plate are not a factor right now. Everything kind of in the shadow.
Yeah, the hitter's got to be excited about that.
That would be a factor for this Oakland A's team, trailing by 3 runs at this stage of the game and of the afternoon here in LA.
I mentioned it last time, La Stella, 27 walks to 12 Ks this year, so a guy that will take pitches. And right now down 8-5, you need base runners.
Astros in a shift on the right side. With Altuve in short right field. Correa joining Altuve and Gurriel on the right. That's a strike, and it's 3-1. 7 in a row retired by Astros pitching. Javier up in the pen right now for the Astros. As Paredes. Ground ball into the shift, and it's Altuve in short right who gets it there in plenty of time. 2 down. Stella retired. And the shift perfect that time for the Astros.
Yeah, fell behind 3-0, got right back in it. Got another easy out.
Jeff Blum checking in.
Yeah, no doubt. This guy is bringing some gas. That's why I said I think this is a guy you just keep letting go until.
The check swing grounder back to the mound. Paredes overran it. He falls down. Has time to recover and gets it done. Did not panic, but in a results-based business, got the job done. We played 7. It's 8-5 Astros. Welcome back to the 2020 American League Division Series, presented by Utz Snacks. 8-5, and the end of last inning wasn't pretty, but he got the job done.
You see the panic mode right here, falls down, but then I love he throws it and you see him slam the ground.
Yes.
You don't think there's any emotion in this game.
It is 8-5. The Astros on top. Mike Minor is a new pitcher, and that's going to be strike 1 from tall left-hander.
Yeah, one of the 2 guys that you said earlier, Don, they acquired from the Rangers. Huge year last year, all-star year in Texas, 14-10. Really struggled in Texas start. They brought him over to try to see if they could get a change of scenery. Not necessarily worked, but has all the pitches: fastball, changeup, slider. Matter if he can keep it in the strike zone.
Jumped ahead of Springer here, 0-2. And it has been quite the day for George Springer. 4 for 4 in this game. 3 singles, a double. He's scored a run. He's driven in a run. And he has done all that has been asked of him from this top spot in the Astros order today. They had gone. They checked. No, he did not, says Ed Hickox, first base umpire. There are the numbers. 4 for 4 in this game, a .385 average. That means the 2 games against the Minnesota Twins and game 1 of this ALDS.
Yeah, have yourself a day.
So we've seen Bassett, Petit, Wendelken, Diekman, Trevino, and now Minor out of that Oakland A's pen. More than I think we anticipated today in game 1.
Well, I think they thought, especially how the first 3 innings went with no runs, they would get a lot more out of Bassett. They weren't able to.
The dirt, and it's 2-2. Springer will be followed by Altuve and Brantley. The trio scheduled here in the top of the 8th for the Astros. There's Altuve. Don Orsillo, Jeff Franceour, and Matt Weiner with you. Game 1 of the ALDS. Swing and a miss, and for the first time today, Springer is retired, this time by way of the K. 1 down in the 8th. Let's take a look at inside the numbers presented by DraftKings.
Yeah, you see the chase rate up for all these guys a little bit. Listen to Dusty Baker talk. You know, I think it goes back to in a 60-game season. Some of these guys fell behind early, had some numbers that weren't quite there, and you know, eventually you expand the zone. I think we've seen a lot of hitters do that throughout the league.
1 out in the 8th, and Altuve was showing bunt now, trying to get it out of the way, and he said that hit him. So down to first, he'll go. I guess the only question is whether or not did he offer on that. And they're going to check, and the first base umpire Ed Hickox said he did not.
Yeah, you can see it nip his belt buckle. Barely hits him. You can see the uniform move just a little bit.
These are checking on that right now. Apparently they got their answer quite quickly. So no challenge on the play from Bob Melvin. That puts a runner at first. We'll see it again here.
Watch that belt buckle. See, it kind of just nips it. Good call by the umpire.
1 out, 1 on for the Astros here in the 8th. And gives Michael Brantley a chance. He's 1 for 4 in the game. Single to right field as part of that 4-run 6th inning for the Astros. And all 4 of those runs scoring with 2 outs in the inning.
Brantley only 1 for 4 to show for it, but 3 great ABs for him today. Lined out to short to end the first to a double play, and then lined out to Laureano in center in the third. You hear guys just professional at bats you go through. He's done it all day today. Good approach.
Fly ball center field. Laureano going back onto the warning track to make the catch. You never know today, but Laureano back there in the dirt of the track to reel that in. And Altuve back to first with now 2 down.
Yeah, you kind of have to hold your breath.
Yes,
and I'm sure if you're an A's fan, you are right there, because that would have been a huge dagger. A 3-run game to a 5-run game. That fastball might have got in on Brantley just a little bit.
2 down here in the 8th, and it brings up Alex Bregman. Single, homer, and a 2 for 4 day for the Astros third baseman. The Oakland A's looking for some revenge in this series against the Astros. The A's, winners of 97 games prior to this year in back-to-back seasons, but second, the Houston Astros in each of those years having to play the wild card, not winning the wild card. And you're in a situation here now, you win the division, and an opportunity to knock off the Astros head-to-head here for Bob Melvin. And 2 leads in this game, and right now trail 8-5 in game 1.
I think Matt made a great point earlier in the second inning that, you know, you win the division, but yet you don't really get home field advantage because of the neutral sites this year.
That's in the dirt and taken off and out at second base is Altuve. Tried to steal second, but gunned down by Murphy. It was a close play. We'll see here if Dusty Baker is going to take a look at this. It was a bang play. The ball kind of arrived as Altuve did at second base.
What a cannon. Hear Bob Melvin talk about Murphy. He got the ball almost off the ground and threw a perfect strike right on Altuve, and that's going to end the inning.
Yep, no challenge. The caught stealing wraps up the top of the 8th. It is 8-5, Houston on top after 7.5. Eight to 5, Astros on top of the Athletics. We move to the bottom of the 8th. The caught stealing on Altuve that ended last inning.
Well, Murphy, what a perfect throw. Right on the money. Got him.
Tonight's Base Cam is presented by T-Mobile, connecting you to America's largest 5G network. And here's a look. Right into your living room comes Altuve.
That's a great angle, isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
that's awesome. Now it is Pinder leads off this inning against a new pitcher, Christian Javier. Becomes pitcher number 4 for the Astros.
Yeah, and he's been a starter for them a lot of the year. But in this scenario here, Dusty said I would do it if I needed to win a game. They're trying to get him to get to the 8th to turn Presley the ball in the 9th. Fastball slider guy. And with 3 of the next 4 hitters being righties are only hitting 101 against him this year. So it's been very tough on righties.
Only Paredes outstanding, faced 6 hitters, retired them all, 2 by way of the K. And right now Astros pitching has retired 9 Athletics in a row as we start the bottom of the 8th, and that's a strike. Evens a count at 2-2.
Yeah, this Astros bullpen is kind of the one question mark we had a lot this whole postseason. 12 2/3, 3 hits, 12 Ks, no runs. Been dominant.
Hasn't been a lot of question. Ball 3, full count. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 8th with Canna and Olsen to follow. Whaley up in the pen. He had been up earlier. He's back up again for the Astros. There's Canna waiting on deck for Oakland.
outside.
That's ball 4 and a good start to the bottom of the 8th inning for the Athletics. Pender down to first.
Well, and this is where you love, to me, the three batter rule, because you see Brooks down there warming up in the pen.
Right.
You look who's on deck. Matt Olson, the big lefty. You can't come in and see him, so he can get ready for whoever's coming after. But you take that chance of now, if another guy gets on, you bring Olson up the tying run with a right-hander on the mound. Makes it interesting late in games. I like it.
Lead runner on and Mark Canha standing in. I was just going to ask you your opinion on that rule.
Well, look, during the regular season, I don't think we talked about it the other night. We don't really recognize it too much because you're just not as many huge moments. In a postseason thing like this now,
matchups are everything.
Exactly. So I think that's a great rule and something that both teams are going to have to try to take advantage of at different times.
On visit here for Maldonado out there talking to Javier. Bregman coming in, Correa coming in. Leadoff walk for Pender, has him at first base. He's trying to make some noise here in the bottom of the 8th. Canha has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging, before connected on a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning that produced the Athletics' last run, their 5th. That was in inning number 5. And at the time put them on top 5-3. Big swing and a miss at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball for Canha.
Yeah, it's a big spot too. You're coming into an 8-5 game. Christian Javier, he's a rookie. I mean, this is, Maldonado said after the first series, watching him pitch, he didn't pitch like a rookie. But here's another round, another bigger stage. Maybe a little nerves the first batter.
Canha fouls it straight back. Another fastball. That one was out over the plate again. And hittable. Just missed by Canha. Four-plus for McCullers, an inning for Taylor, 2 for Paredes. And Javier has walked the first batter that he faces in the 8th. That broke up a string of 9 in a row retired by Houston pitchers. Two and two.
Good take after 3 good fastballs. A slider off the plate. Definitely a ball, but tough pitch to lay off.
Okay, the sun's back, so you get shadows over the home plate area. The mound is in the sunshine, and the batter's eye very much in the sunshine. There you have it. Late afternoon in LA. In tight for ball 2, and it was up. It's actually ball 3, make it a full count.
Yeah, big pitch. You've taken a slider away, a fastball up. You've got to find any way you can, whether it's a base hit, walk, and give your big boppers behind you a chance to tie the ball game up.
In the air to right field will send Tucker back towards the dirt of the track to make the catch right in front of the wall over the shoulder. The ball carried very well to deep right, and on the warning track makes the catch for out number 1. Well, with more, let's send it down to Matt Weiner.
Matt Olson with one of the A's 3 home runs on the afternoon, and somewhere that makes Billy Beane happy. At least we would assume so. The executive vice president famously can't sit still and actually watch his team during these situations. But he is a big proponent of the postseason home run. He rejects the postseason narrative of the little things winning games, telling the Athletic last week, quote, "You've heard it. Oh, it's the little things. You got to do this. You got to steal a base." No, hit homers. You hit homers, you win. You may be onto something there. Through the wild card round, teams that had out-homered their opponents were 12-0, and I guarantee he'd take one right now.
There's no doubt about that. With one down here, Matt, and you think about how consistent the A's have been getting to the postseason. They've had the frustration of finishing second in the 2 prior years of this Astros team. This year they win the division and have the chance to play in a longer series rather than that 1-game wild card scenario in the past.
Yeah, they've got, at least have an opportunity now to get into a series, but it's an interesting point. know, I do believe you got to do some small things sometimes, but I do understand too the way baseball's gone that you know, like Oakland did early, the walk, the home run can add up quick.
This one is fouled back, and of course Matt Olson, who hit 14 during the regular season, is homered in this one back in the 4th inning.
I got a hanging breaking ball. It's so big, so strong. He's as good as there is with using that leverage. You see how he's got the bat way out of the zone and whip those hands through. Huge power.
Shifting on the right side are the Astros on a pitch that's up. They keep it tight to the infield, though. They're all in the dirt on that right side with a double play scenario in order. Correa joining Altuve and Gurriel, and Bregman way off at third. They very much expect Olson to pull. First inning of relief for Christian Javier. Walk and a deep fly out to right field. First 2 hitters. Fouled straight back.
He was on that pitch. Did not miss that by much. Good hack.
"17 pitches so far to the first 3 hitters that Javier has faced. And another foul to the screen.
Yeah, they're making them work. 9 balls, 9 strikes, Don. So they're definitely taking their hacks when they get in the zone, but also taking the pitches when they're not.
After a bevy of fastballs, tried the slider that time and it got fouled back. See what he does here. 2-2. And that's strike 3. Back to the slider again and gets him looking for a strikeout for Javier. 2 down in the 8th inning.
Yeah, that pitch was all about location. Was able to locate that on the outer part of the zone. You can kind of see Matt kind of gave up on it, and it came back and hit that perfect pitch. He knew it. You saw him put his head down.
Takes with him the first strikeout for Javier in this game. 2 outs in the 8th. And brings up Chris Davis. Wild swing and a miss for strike 1. He was planning on a fastball and didn't get it.
Yeah, he was swinging. That's why you saw his first home run. He's powerful, so he's able to drive it. But look, he's looking to pull. You know, he's a natural pull power hitter, right-handed. We don't see too many of those anymore.
Quickly down to 0-2. Homered in the 2nd inning. At the time, put the Athletics on top 2-0. Who followed up with a single to right in the 4th before he struck out swinging in the 6th inning. That's here with 2 down, and Pinder would walk to begin the inning, is at first with now 2 down. That one fouled back to the screen.
You can see elevated fastballs. Greatest got him on 3 of them. Struck him out, what, on 3 pitches. Elevated now, same thing. Javier, after that first pitch off speed, elevated fastballs.
He's got a piece of Maldonado, a big piece. Way to the screen. Featuring the hockey style mask. The walk to Pinder started the inning. He's got the lead runner on, but Canna flies out to the track and right. Olson strikes out looking. And now Chris Davis down 1-2. They get 2-2.
He's had a lot of pitches, 24 pitches, only 4 batters, but he's been able to make the pitch when he needed to.
Athletics have battled away, fouled off some, taken some. Bobby Grossman waits on deck right now for the A's. That's swing and a miss for Davis, and that's the 8th inning. Back-to-back Ks for Javier. 8-5 to the 9th we go for the Astros. So now Dusty Baker is the first manager in baseball history to lead 5 different teams in the postseason. You got the Cubs in 03. Got the Reds in 10, 12, and 13. The Nationals back-to-back years in the 16 and 17 years. And now the Astros in 2020. Only 2 other managers in history have led as many as 4 teams to the postseason. Billy Martin did it, and Davey Johnson. Billy Martin with the Athletics, Tigers, Twins, and Yankees. Johnson with the Mets, Orioles, Nationals, and Reds. But that's something for Dusty Baker. It really is.
Well, as we talked about earlier, the credibility, stability he is able to bring right away, just in how he manages, the type of guy he is, was huge for the Astros. And then, look, he wanted one last chance. And he was pretty open about that. And, you know, here it is. He's got a great offense and a team to do it with, so got an opportunity.
Speaking of greatness, Jordan Weems and his great moss into this game.
He's got some good cabbage up there, doesn't he?
Wow,
That hair.
fantastic flowing. Comes in for the top of the 9th inning. And with Alex Bregman, who is 2 for 4. Single and a home run for Bregman.
He's got a big fastball, mid-90s. See, with a little bit of sink.
Who's not on the A's wild card roster for that series, was added for this one, and he misses on 4 pitches. A leadoff walk to Bregman begins the 9th inning. Let's get a game break with Ernie Johnson. All right, Ernie. Thanks very much. I'm in that camp with you. It doesn't matter what I grow, I'd never get that kind of flow. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There is Tucker, who bats with the lead runner on here in the 9th. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is blow dried too. I think there's some work to that. I don't think it's just naturally that good. You think? What do you think?
Definitely. You got the little conditioner spray I use on my daughter to get those tangles out.
It's puffy, you know.
And it's having trouble finding the strike zone
Yes,
right
he
now.
is.
As you said, not on the wild card roster.
6 balls in a row.
And I know there's a taxi squad. It's still tough when you even throwing your own teammates. That's not the same as throwing against another team.
Wow. And it is now 3-0. He's off the backside of the midst of a meeting with himself right now, trying to figure it out after 7 straight balls. It's Tucker now and Correa next. Uriel to follow. And that is a strike, I guess. Whoa. Gave him that one. It's 3-1.
I think Tucker's looking at it. I thought the 2-0 pitch was better than that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shift on the right side on the infield. And this one is sent foul down the left field line, and all of a sudden it's a full count.
Yeah, getting that first strike, sometimes that's the toughest part. Back in the zone on that pitch.
Tucker will chop one right side and into right field. A bounding ball through the right side. Bregman heads for third, and throwing the brakes on at first base is Tucker. It's first and third for the Astros. They've got him at the corners with nobody out here in the 9th.
Well, found a hole. Wasn't necessarily hard hit. Kind of banged it off that dirt, but enough to sneak it through to set up first and third. Now bringing up Correa, who's already got 2 homers today.
Now Correa, here they are, as Correa homered in the 4th inning and then in the 7th, and a look at both.
Yeah, both almost dead center. You saw the one 421 on a hanging slider. And then the other one on a fastball in, kept the hands inside. Long home run.
First shortstop in Major League postseason history with 2 multi-home run games. 1st and 3rd, and here is Correa. So he's got the 2 home runs. He also has 2 strikeouts and a 2-for-4 showing today in game 1 of the series. And a check swing foul to the screen for strike 1. So Weems starts off ahead this time. Astros very much would like to obtain some insurance here in the 9th inning. They have Bregman at 3rd, Tucker across the diamond at 1st with nobody out in the 9th. And that one is lined towards right center field, and that ball's going to get down. From 3rd base comes Bregman with the 9th Astros run. And it's 1st and 3rd again as the Astros add a run here in the 9th inning and take a 9-5 lead. Carlos Correa drives in another run, his 4th RBI of this game.
Wow, this team continues to hit right now. Not much damage during the wild card series. 16 hits today, 9 runs, and they still got 1st and 3rd, no outs, and that looks like it's going to be it for Weems.
Well, very quickly the Astros put together a run here in the 9th inning. Correa loves it, and that will be the game for Weems. He departs. It's like McFarland coming in. It's now 9-5. Astros on top in game 1. Practical Jokers. Dinner Party returns to True TV October the 29th. Well, it is now 9-5 with the Astros adding a run so far here in the top of the 9th inning. They have runners at the corners and enter T.J. McFarland into this one.
Yeah, their 7th reliever, 8th pitcher today for this team. Sinker slider type guy, not going to overpowering. And you've seen the last couple innings, seeing the back end of kind of the guys at the A's don't necessarily want a load to come in, but right now they got to find a way to keep this game anywhere they're at.
So it's 1st and 3rd. Yuli Gurriel will bat here. He has singled, flied out to center twice, and been hit by a pitch. And that is in there for a strike. Gurriel batting with runners at the corners, nobody out, a run in.
The Astros 16 hits today. They have not got many cheap ones either. A couple infield singles early in the year.
This is in the air to left field, hit deep and far as Grossman goes back onto the track to make the catch in front of the wall. Tagging at 3rd and scoring is Tucker. He is in, and it's 10-5 Astros. I thought for sure, based on the way the ball has gone out of here today, that thing was going to be gone.
Yeah, it's either starting to die a little bit and not travel in later in the afternoon, 4:30, or he got jammed a little bit. But either way, got a sac flying. Great job by Correa going 1st to 2nd, get in scoring position, try to tack on another.
Yeah, it did look like he got in a little bit on him there, as that one is caught in left field by Grossman. It's a sac fly for Gurriel, and it's 10-5 Astros. Ledmy Diaz will pinch hit here for Josh Reddick with 1 out. And as you mentioned, Correa tagging up, taking 2nd base on the fly out to deep left field. Diaz off the bench into the game and swinging at the first offering from McFarland and fouling it off.
Yeah, this is a guy they love. He's able to come off the bench. He started 4 different positions this year, Diaz. And you hear Dusty Baker come on and say he'd probably start on about 20 other teams, but he's able to kind of give guys breather and play anywhere. Very versatile.
2 runs in here in the top of the 9th inning. Heading on for the Astros. Enjoy a 5-run lead right now. We talked about all the theatrics for the Oakland A's this year. Led the majors in wins when trailing after 6 innings. They had 6 of them. 6 walk-off wins. They've been here before. Try not to add any more here on for the Astros as Diaz swings through that. Finds himself down 1-2.
Good changeup by McFarland. Got out of the zone. Looked like his sinker. Got him out in front.
Diaz with a swing and a miss, and the pinch hitter strikes out for out number 2 of the 9th as McFarland gets him.
Curveball coming in after that changeup. Good sequence. That's really been the difference in this game today. You look at the A's bullpen, we've talked about so good. They've given up 7 runs today.
2 down here in the 9th, and it brings up Martin Maldonado. 3 strikeout day today, but also a single and a run scored, and that came in the 6th inning. It's part of the 4-run 6th inning for the Astros. Back to the mound, and McFarland's got it. And off the side of the hill, his throw to first is in time. Well, a pair of runs in the inning, as it turns out, for the Houston Astros. They had runs 9 and 10 in this one, as Correa driving in the first. It's 10-5 Astros to the bottom of the 9th. We go from L.A. Game 1 of the ALDS, and the Astros take a 10-5 lead to the bottom of the 9th inning in L.A. And the new pitcher is Ryan Presley, and the Astros are taking no chances even with a 5-run lead.
No, they're bringing their closer. Took over for Roberto Ozuna this year. When he went down, it's been great this year. All-star last year. This year, 1-3 with the 3.43, 29 Ks. Good year. Slider fastball. Drop the occasional curve on you.
Bobby Grossman leading it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning for the Athletics. He was fly to center, double to right, and struck out swinging. Pops it up, foul ground. Maldonado has got to play, and he makes it for out number 1 at the bottom of the 9th inning. Good amount of foul ground, first and third here at Dodger Stadium. Maldonado able to secure the first out of the 9th inning. Laureano now 0 for 3 in this one out of the 8th spot for the A's.
Yeah, Presley was warming up 8-5. Obviously they go and add 2 runs, but at that point he's warmed up, and you said it, Don, no reason to take a chance. You've got to get that first win.
And they come from behind victories for the Athletics late in games. Astros are well aware of that, and they'd like to do without any drama here in game 1 of the ALDS. He's got 1 out, and a 1-0 to Laureano. That is popped up, foul ground as well. Maldonado caught the first one. He is going to catch the second one. How about that? 2 down here in the 9th inning. He's been busy and up to the task on 2 occasions.
That's what you want. 2 easy outs just like that. No drama if you're the Astros or Dusty, where you got to worry about what's going on.
2 down in the 9th, and it brings up Sean Murphy. He's one of the 3 home runs gathered by the Athletics in this game. A solo shot back in the 3rd inning. That's now 2 down in the 9th inning. That is strike one. Astros have doubled up in hits against the Athletics, 16-8, the hits column of this line score.
Well, you know, McCullers, they were able to get to him something the last hit for the A's to lead off the fifth, Marcus Semien. So bullpen's been great for the Astros.
Elevates and he chases. Strike two. Mask coming out of the back pocket.
That you don't see that happen so much. Only in 2020.
2020.
Wow.
And your mask falls out of your back pocket during your AB.
Hey, when that happens.
0-2 the count to Murphy. He struck him out, and the Astros have taken game one of the ALDS. 1-2-3 ninth. Just the walk from the fifth inning on. And boy, was the Astros bullpen outstanding. So was the offense with the home runs. And they come away with a 10-5 win in game one of this ALDS. And 16 hits banged out by the Astros in this one. We talked a lot about the Oakland A's pen, but in this game, Jeff Franceour, it was the Astros pen. It really was very good.
They were fantastic. Both offenses traded home runs early on, knocked out the pitchers, but the Astros kept going. This is a home run of Correa off Bassett, the first one, which was a bomb, and then gets an inside fastball here and lines it for his second home run, and really kind of just put the game out of reach.
The home runs were a big story today, really, for both sides. Ball was flying out of here today.
Ball was jumping, and this is a guy that knows how to hit, knows how to play in the postseason. He got it done.
Let's send it down to Matt Weiner.
All right, 4 more RBI for the Astros, postseason career leader in that category. Carlos, you hit 4 home runs in the first 57 games of the season. You now have 4 in your last 4 games. How comfortable are you now that October has arrived?
I feel great. I was able to make some adjustments on that last series in Texas. I hit a homer in my last game over there, and everything started to click. So, you know, it's been translating really well now in the playoffs, and hopefully I keep going. 16
hits, 10 runs for this team today against Oakland, including a 4-run 6. A lot of hard hit balls, but a 4-run 6 all after 2 outs. What does that say about your offensive approach in this game?
Well, we got a great offense. You know, you can judge the offense by a 60-game season. We usually play 162. We made adjustments throughout the year. And, you know, when it's all said and done, we finish with great numbers. So, you know, right now it's our 3rd month of the season. That's usually when the bats start get hot in June. So, you know, we've been swinging it great. Today was a great example of that. Putting great at-bats together as a team with 2 outs, being able to drive runners in. And that was the key to the game today.
Well, you said it last week. There are a lot of folks around the country who don't necessarily want to see you here. What are you trying to show those folks?
Yeah, we're just trying to play the game that we love and have fun with it. You know we have a solid team, and we want to go out there and prove it. And today was a great example of that. We have a solid team, a solid lineup, and, you know, today gives us a lot of confidence moving forward.
Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, brother.
Career postseason home runs number 13 and 14 for Carlos Correa as the Astros get the win 10-5.
Well, coming up next, the ALDS Game 1 will be the Yankees and Rays from San Diego. The final here, the Houston Astros 10, the Oakland A's 5 in 3 hours and 30 minutes. Taylor the winner, Wendelken the loser in this one. The Astros have taken Game 1 of the American League Division Series from LA. For Jeff Franceour, this is Don Orsillo saying so long from LA.